Well, happy Friday. Welcome back to the Crypto Treehouse, boys and girls. My name is Red Baron. Thank you very much for joining me on a very special Friday. I know I've been away for a long time. I got a lot of stuff going on, got a lot of plates spinning in the background, but I'm always here watching, kind of like Batman. I'm always in the background watching. So, anyway, we've got some stuff to talk about tonight. So, I'll go ahead and do a public live stream, let everybody know what's going on here. We got some movement in the market, boys and girls. So, give me a couple minutes here to obviously alert the troops, let the usual suspects file in, and I'll be right with you here. We're going to kill some radio silence, and then we'll be right back here in just a couple of minutes. So hang tight with me, and I'll be right on back. Give me a couple more seconds here, guys. I'll be with you here in just a minute. I got a few things I got to do. I got to put out to Twitter. It takes a couple minutes to get all this stuff. I'm a one-man band here, so got to play some different instruments, and then I'll be back here on the main one. So hang on just one second. Okay, thank you very much for tolerating that. That's just something we got to do every single time I start this broadcast. Takes a little bit of time. I don't have the manpower to be able to share this stuff out to everybody as I'm doing this. I got to kind of get this stuff all squared away and locked down before I can start the broadcast. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Red Baron. So you guys are new to the live stream here. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to go over some old issues and explain what the heck it is you're listening to and you're watching here, because this is not normal. So again, my name is Red Baron. I come from the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free to join the crypto therapy group. You're more than welcome to join us. You'll like the group. If you guys are looking for some people to be with that understand crypto, that like crypto, not going to try to spam you, not going to try to sell you stuff, just everybody's got everybody's best interest in mind, join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. We'd love to have you. That's simply all you do is just go to that, and you'll find an invitation from me, Red Baron. Just click on that and join it, and we'll flag you in and get you into what we call the front porch, and our mods will welcome you and bring you into the community. So that's, again, the unfairadvantage.chat. And what we're going to be working with is charts from fibicharts.com. That's what you're looking at here on the screen right now. And this has... we haven't talked about this for a while, so I'll go ahead and talk about this. I'm going to be getting a promo video that's going to show this thing in action and really explain it, because it does get a little tiring to have to go back and re-explain this all the time for the guys that are fans of the show and stuff. But these charts are not your normal charts. They have embedded artificial intelligence on them, featuring two programs called Isis and Anubis, and we have a third one now that we're starting to interface with this thing that I'm not ready to quite roll it out yet, but we've got one in the background. So we're always adding new programs to this thing to help track and chart and basically just do some very spooky, accurate stuff that we like to call the magic chicken bones. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in the future. But for right now, again, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in the market, because we got a little jittering going on here. So it's finally something to talk about. It's been a long, cold winter so far. Hasn't been a whole hell of a lot to talk about. But, we made the predictions, or I made the predictions while out, and here we are. So let's start with Bitcoin. So you guys that have been fans of the show, I've been telling you for months this was coming. I said we're not going to kind of go down here. We're going to go exactly to this line, and look exactly what we did. That's clarification right there. We call it a ping. That's the sound of a perfect strike on a golf club, or a perfect strike on a golf ball. Ping. That means you hit the target in perfect. And it fell right down onto the red box exactly at the call, 35,460, just like I said. Now, does that mean the party's over? Not by a long shot. That's just one little demonstration of exactly what we've got cooking for you here. This is definitely not over, folks. We're going to go much, much lower. I do get a perverse joy out of all the people that are calling for 100,000 Bitcoin. I'm like, hey, you guys know, if you've been around for a while, I've been, no, not going to happen. No. And I was the only one that was saying that's not going to happen. And now all of a sudden, I think this Bitcoin thing might go down. Like, yeah, welcome to the party, because we've been telling you this for a long, long time. So demonstrated long time ago. Clear back in October that we were saying this. Actually further back than October, but it's following along just perfectly. So we're going to go through a few of the recent predictions that have just pinged, just as of the last few hours. We're going to talk about what's to come next, because that's always the question. So are we going to reverse now? The short answer is no. This is far from over. So I don't want to see any of you guys jumping in yet, trying to get an early entry, because that would be to your financial demise. So just simply sit and watch the world burn and enjoy, knowing that you're on the right side of this thing, because I don't want to see any of you guys jump in on this and try to capitalize and think you're buying the bottom, because the bottom is not in yet. We're far from the bottom. So anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that a little bit more chart by chart. But anyway, so leading off with Bitcoin, we're looking at here. So where are we looking to go from this point? Well, let me get myself squared up. I'm working off of 6 different monitors here, so I'm trying to get everything all kind of squared away so I can see it and make sure I'm watching all my commentary and stuff like that. So hang on just a second. By the way, Tiny Tank's in the chat. She was supposed to be on with me for a show and stuff like that. So we've got another thing here. Liz, I'm going to go ahead and leak this a little bit here. And maybe I'll have you call me and we can chat at the end of the show or something like that if you want to do it. And otherwise, we can do it on another show. But anyway, Liz has got something going on where she's doing like a cross-country deal. And I thought, well, maybe we could tie in the Fibby Charts family along with that and maybe do like a kind of a crypto road trip across America. I don't know. This is kind of being fleshed out right now. How this has its origins is originally we were going to do some sort of a crypto cruise type thing. I can tell you that emphatically, I can tell you that that is not going to happen. As much as I would like that to happen, it's not going to. And it seems to be that originally what I had envisioned is I wanted to do a get together there and make it our first official seminar where we would do asset protection stuff and just all the big boy stuff that we bring in all the experts and people that I work with. However, that's in April. Is there anything happens in April? Oh yeah, tax time. So try and get a tax accountant to break away from his day job. Try to get an asset protection lawyer to break away from his day job. It's probably the crappiest time to try and do something like that is in April. So you take your shot sometimes. So, but anyway, it's not going to work out. So that being said, we probably are still going to do something. Now, there's a not related to us, but there's a huge, overpriced, I think, crypto conference going on in what is it in April? Tiny Tank, is it in April? I believe it's in Miami, and so anyway, if you guys wanted to go to that, you could. But we were kind of thinking of maybe probably just doing another informal get together in Florida, somewhere in the Daytona, Miami. We don't know as of yet, but I'm about ready to get up out of here, man. I'll tell you what, 10 inches of snow, my ass is not having this. I'm just not happy right now. I am really, really, really hating this snow. I'm hiding in the house and it's getting to me. So I'm ready. I'm getting stir crazy. I'm ready to get in the damn car and go somewhere. So, and we may very well go before that. So anyway, we'll talk more with her about doing the Sedona thing. So when May 15th to 20th. We'll flesh that all out and stuff like that. Just kind of will put you guys on notice that the crypto cruise, as of yet, and again, we don't know what kind of world we're going to be looking at here come April. I mean, good God Almighty, Does anybody really want to get on a boat right now? I don't think so. So anyway, we'll get something going. But the meetups are going to still end up happening and stuff like that. I have to go down and pick up a car in Texas, and it's highly likely that I might be doing a Texas meetup. Didn't realize that there were going to be that many people living in Texas, so it's a high degree of likelihood that I might be going to Texas here in the next, let's just say the next 60 days or something like that. Somewhere, just anywhere not Austin. God, no, not Austin, but anywhere other than Austin. I used to live in Austin. So that's a possibility too. So anyway, let me get back to what we're doing here. So Bitcoin, basically we've got a little bit of a dump here. So what this is I'm not going to be surprised to see a little bit of a strike at the bottom, a little bit of a bounce up. And I'm speaking broadly across the market here because and I've said this umpteen times. You don't have to watch the entire market to know and get a sense of what's going on. You just have to know the market leaders. As they go, so goes the rest of the herd. You look at that lead cow. You don't have to watch the whole cow, or you don't have to watch the whole flock of birds. You just watch the lead bird to see where the rest of the birds are going. And so where we're looking at here is we're working inside this triangle. So what I anticipate happening is probably something like that for the next day, 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Probably a week, but I think the next action, super action we're going to get is probably going to be around about Sunday to Wednesday, right in that general range, which will put you kind of at the halfway point right there. That's just a hunch, but it's a good one. Anything that moved that violently, it goes down and then it has to take a breather and kind of psych people out a little bit. So I expect the rest of the market will do much the same. But that being said, I do expect we are definitely going to go lower. So let's go ahead and take a look. So, what do you know? We already got a call down there. We've already got a call. So way back when we were up here, I gave you this call. This was clear back in November. Well, it was actually prior to that, but it was November 11th is when I gave you this call. Clear at the height. And look at this. We fell clear from here all the way down here. An incredible 47% drop on Bitcoin. That doesn't happen very often, does it? And so ISIS, our system, our AI-powered system, said it's going to happen. And look at this. We hit our halfway point right here. See the halfway point on this, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go the rest of the way. But we hit our halfway point just beautifully, and I had that already marked out right here. We've already dropped 38% to that line right there, and we've continued to capitulate and go right on down to 47.07%. Is there any doubt we're going to go further? None for me. So I think 29,000 is going to be our next target. So now, does that mean when you buy? That means it's time to buy? No. We've got other targets. Juicy, juicy targets. Clear down here at 23, or cleared at 24. We've got one at 16, and yes, boys and girls, we've even got one at 12. So too soon to expect that just yet, but believe me, it's in the cards. It can happen. As much as you may not want it to happen, being a hodler, it's possible it's going to happen. And I've been saying it for pretty much about a year. I expect 12,000 Bitcoin. It's very possible. I don't want to get into the long-term reason why on that, but there's just some reasons that it needs to happen. We're going to have an utter destruction as far as the financial system goes. It just has to happen. Some of you guys that have not listened to the show before, let me kind of introduce myself a little bit. I'm the author of over 300 financial books. I've been an investor for nearly 3.5 decades. I am not what I refer to as a skateboard kid. I've been around, I've seen some things. I deal with some high-level world bankers, world leaders. So you're listening to somebody who's got his hands on the pulse of the world. I've been there, done that, talked to the people, came back, wrote the book about it. So you're in good hands here. I want every single one of you to benefit from my knowledge. And so some of my little fans that are out there that are part of what we call the Fibby family or the Fibby fam, been with me for a long time, and they take my words seriously because they know I've earned their respect. You know, when I call it, it comes to pass most of the time. So I want you guys to know that you're not just listening to another YouTuber that's just stating his opinion. I will not say anything that I do not believe, and I do not have facts and accurate data behind. So what you're seeing here tonight is something that you're probably not going to see anywhere else on YouTube. Incredible fact-based information. So I want to be real clear with you on that. So, all right. So anyway, as far as that goes, Bitcoin, we'll kind of wash our hands of that right now. We'll just basically say 29,000 is our next target down. You know, it's going to bounce up a little bit before that, but our next watch point is 29,000. Beyond that, 24,000. Beyond that, 22,000. So 29 is the next signpost on the road to hell. Okay. So Ethereum's kind of been breaking on its own, been doing we're going to start looking at some one-day charts instead of 15-minute charts as I'm most often. And by the way, just to kind of go back and touch off on a few points here. So what you're seeing here for you guys that are not new, what you're seeing these lines going side to side, these are not Fibonacci retracement lines. The green lines are. The bronze lines are, this is our system, ISIS, part of our grid systems. It's created by our AI. You can also see we have some time markers that go up and down like that. And those are specifically unique to our system, and it helps us kind of form what we call the unfair advantage grid, which helps me use technical analysis plus gut feeling plus just basically statistical analysis to be able to figure out where these things go. And it's spooky accurate, as the guys in the chat can attest to. So, all right, hang on just a second. I'm not reading the chat right now, guys. I'm going to be buzzing through this. It'll be a little bit here before I get to answering chat. So if you're asking me questions, I'm not going to catch it here for a little. Let me get in a riff, or otherwise I'll start telling stories. We'll be here till 5 in the morning. That never happens. All right, so this is where we're at right now with this. We're getting dangerously close to this, so you can kind of see. I have I'm going to call this our opportunity box. Ethereum falls into a vastly different category of crypto. Some of my longtime listeners will attest that I don't look at Ethereum as being an investment. I view it as being means to an end. You know, if you want to buy these crap coins or these shit coins or any of these small cap coins and stuff like that, you got to go through the Ethereum gate. You know, I've said this a million times if I've said it once. And so really it's just a matter of, you know, if you put shingles on a roof for a living, then you need to buy your shingles cheap. You know, when wood goes on sale, if you're a carpenter, you need to buy your wood cheap. Nails, you need to buy, you know, Ethereum is a tool for doing business. So you want to buy your tools as cheap as possible when you get the opportunity to do so. So right now, nails are on sale, guys. Get the nails. And so this is how you're going to build your financial house. Get your nails on sale. And so, you know, it's not going to probably shock me to see this thing fall well down to the sub 1800 range. Not gonna shock me at all. We're damn near touching off the top of the prediction box here. So our effective first line prediction is right here at 2182, but I do feel that we are going to go lower. Um, I don't have anything going that far back, but I would be quite comfortable with any of you guys scooping up just bucket loads of this stuff at $1,650 to $1,690, right in that range. Call it a day, because Ethereum, let me give you kind of an advanced thought on this. You don't want to try to buy Ethereum at the bottom necessarily. And because why is that? Well, let's take something like Ethereum into Reef. Reef is one of our big calls, long distance calls. It's one of our superstars that we talk an awful lot about. Let me give you a for instance. If the market's all falling at once, as it's like to do, and you're trying to buy Ethereum on sale, okay, great. You bought Ethereum at the bottom. Now, you're so busy trying to buy Ethereum at the bottom that by the time, you know how this stuff goes down. It goes down and it flashes to the bottom and it starts to bounce back up. You're going to be over here trying to buy Ethereum as cheap as possible, and you're not ready for the super buy, which is Dent or Reef or something like that, or Shiba or whatever. You have to have that first step done. So if you get a good buy on this, call it good, because you're going to want to have that you're going to want to have those bullets in the chamber ready to buy the next thing that you're wanting to do. Because if you have to go through Ethereum to get to any of these shitcoins, you're not going to be able to execute 2 trades in a fast-moving market and be able to get the ultimate bottom price on both. Not going to happen in a million trillion years. So I want to kind of hip you to that. So this is I'm perfectly comfortable telling you to the bottom part of this box is a very advisable area. And I don't hand out advice very often, but that's my feeling, and I'll stick with that. So. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the X coins. Holy hell! Well, let's go back and let's go back and recap. Hang on a second. I'll do the 1 day. So I showed you this a long time ago. Clear back into April. I showed you this box, and I said, all right, this is how this is going to play. We're going to go into a 3-wave scenario. And what did we do? And we're going to do this inside of a triangle. Wave 1, wave 2, kind of wave 3. And I told everybody, do not expect to go beyond that point before we get a breakdown. I said, it will probably, and we were watching some other stuff like these side-to-side lines and whatnot. I said, however, what you're watching for is the minute we break out of this triangle, we got to move at hand. Something's going to start happening. And so let's zoom on in here and take a look at exactly, don't ignore the blue arrow. That's just a marker. That's a note to self. We broke out. And we broke out hard, and convincingly so, right down to the dual AI line, which is a combination of an ISIS line and a Fibonacci line. Those are the ones we like, because those are what we call magnetic magic lines, and if it comes down to one of those, then you know you got something. So it came down, went underneath, now it's banging off the bottom of it. That's good. We've now got a ceiling above it. That means it's going to start forcing down lower, and that means that everything's looking down, 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 down. So where's the next thing that's going to happen? It's probably going to go to the 50% mark here. So probably by the end of the night, next 24 hours, we'll probably do this. But the prediction is clear down here. Now, that's a little aggressive. I'll grant you that. Clear down here 15, 16 cents. I'm not ready to go on the record as saying that. This is an orange line. This is TA. Our different color arrows represent different things for you guys that are new on live stream. So an orange arrow basically is strict TA. Doesn't necessarily mean that I don't agree with it. It doesn't mean that, when you see a green arrow or a yellow arrow or a red arrow, those are most likely my calls. When you see an orange arrow, I'm using TA, but I may back it. I'll verbally tell you what I think about it. When you see a gray arrow, excuse me, either up or down, that usually means low probability but possible to happen. Purple is theory only. And so just to kind of give you a little cluing in on that. So we're looking at a TA move, and I'll show you where we picked that up at here just to kind of go back and retell tales here. Might as well teach a little school while I'm at this. So we picked up our arrow right here. So basically what it represents is half of this. That is far too big of a triangle to think we're going to get a drop like that, because conventional TA basically says the mouth of the triangle times the point going down. I mean, Christ, that thing would drop clear down to a penny. I mean, wouldn't that be lovely to buy XRP at a penny? I'm like, oh, come on. that isn't going to happen. So what we see happening, let me clean up my grid here a little bit. What we see is generally we'll see 50% of a move. And so what this represents is my call of 50% of a move, of a TA move. So this is TA with gut feeling kind of, and then basically 50% of that. So don't rule it out, guys. I mean, because let's look at this here once I clear all the junk out. So we've got a call to this light blue line here. Look at the floor. It's right there. It's right there. It very well could happen. I mean, wouldn't that be a hell of a thing? Wouldn't that be just a hell of a thing? And that's right at about the 18, 19 cents. So to be very specific, it's about 19 cents. Now, I've been telling you guys well over a year, I expect 22 to 25 cents. Not suggesting that's the floor. I'm just saying that's a pretty good round guess or gut feeling. 22 to 25 cents. I've said it no less than 1,000 times. My thought is we're probably going to be looking at more practically 40 to 45 cents to be able to buy, because they might go into maintenance on these exchanges, and it's getting harder and harder to get on XRP. I mean, I've noticed. I'm a major holder of XRP, and I've noticed even when I want to trickle a few extra coins into the mass collection, not as easy to do as it used to be. So, what options do you got from as an American? Not too many. So that being said, what I'm basically telling you is this: is like if you can get it anything below 40 cents, consider yourself blessed and call it a day. However, I'm telling you, in theory, I firmly expected to go to 22 to 25 cents. Might wick even lower, you never know. But you're looking at something that has a pretty damn proven track record, so book it. It's going to happen. As far as I'm concerned, would I put money on that? Yes, I would put money on that. I would definitely put money on that. So anybody that is swing trading this thing right now would be extremely foolish, because they're gonna get bit. Excuse me. What I do expect to have happen, and again, you guys love to talk about this. This is a formation called a J-hook. J-hooks come out of a triangle. Triangle formation is the only formation where this happens. This is something that one of my little formations that I've noticed. It's not something you'll learn in TA. You won't hear about it anywhere else but on this channel. But what a J-hook will do is it'll come down to the halfway point, psych, and then go back up. That is very typical of a triangle formation. Now, would we see that in this particular application? I'm not going to rule it out, but I do believe we're going to go full stroke all the way down. This time it's for all the marbles. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get just a plunge down. What I anticipate is, let me give you a window here. I'm real big in windows. Between now and March, sometime we'll call it mid-March, January, February, March. Yeah, so sometime in the next, within the next 2 months, within the next 60 days, 50, 60 days, we're going to probably be down here in the next 50, 60 days with ease. Is it going to be a slam down? No. It's going to be it'll eventually find its way down there. But I don't anticipate anything getting really spunky and going up before then. I do expect maybe we might go down a little bit. No, maybe it's going to get back, and then we slam a little harder, something like that. I mean, who's to say? But what I'm telling you is, through something, we're going to end up down in this neighborhood. This is where we're going to end up, right down in that general area. Make no mistake about it. Been calling it for a year or so, and it's going to come to be. So help me God, I'm gonna will this to happen, so that I get the greatest pleasure in life when this happens. The grand high, I told you so. Nothing better than I told you so. Now, so that being said, so we've got the other side of the coin. We've got the XLM. Now, XLM is, again, it's been a while. Let me double check something, because it's been a very long time since I've talked about XLM and XRP's relationship. So we're at 64 cents. Now, I haven't really looked at this. So we're still maintaining a 3-to-1 ratio, give or take, 3.25 to 1 ratio. So XLM is, I'll go ahead and get rid of the XRP here. I wanted to look at that. So here was a prediction. I said we were in an M formation. What's going to happen? I said, guys, we're going to dump. And dump she did. So we're 50% to where we should be here. Here's the prediction. We're 50% through right now. That was just a sketch. we have double confirmation here. Where are we going? Right there, guys. 7.24. 7.24. Now, I will tell you that I wouldn't hold out for that. I would be looking at this dual AI line right here. If you want to be buying XLM, get her done at about 11 cents and call it a day. I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to be able to pull that off. So if you want to set an order for it, 11 cents. 11 cents would be a damn good order. You probably could go a little bit lower, but if you just want to just treat it as a just round number type thing, 11 to 11.25, 0.1125 or 0.115, something like that, right in that general area. But favor the green line if you can, 11 and a half cents, but could make it down to, it always tends to come down to the bronze AI line, which is the ISIS line. But now, does that mean that's the end of it? No, not necessarily. But again, let's go back and look and see at recent history. I mean, we have a pretty good floor right there, a pretty good floor. So I would hugely expect. Let's take a look here. I would hugely expect from here to here. That represents a 44% drop. That's pretty good for a drop, wouldn't you think? I mean, I think we could probably call that good enough. I don't think we're, need to be panic. Well, let's take another look at this here. If we look at it from where it started to drop to where it could go, that's a 55% drop. That's a massive drop, guys. So yes, I believe that we probably could get to 11 and probably pick a dead cat bounce up here, which would probably likely come down, bounce back up to this other AI line right here. So if you wanted to play a bounce play, look at that. That's about a 50% bounce. Now, I'm not suggesting it's going to go that high, but you could easily pick up a 20 to 25% bounce right there. But if you get it bought at this price, then hang on to it till you find a price you want to sell at. Nobody's forcing your hand to sell a dead cat bounce. If you can pick up XLM at 11 cents, then damn it, don't sell it. Don't be stupid and sell it just so you can, make 10% or 5% or whatever. Hang on to that thing because, man, that thing's going to be worth some money here in about 3-4 months or so. You'll be rather amazed what this is going to be worth. Now, I took it off my whiteboard here to my next side of me here. I had it all wrote down. But we're going to be looking at easily $10 or more. On XLM in the very short-term time as XRP does its thing. And by the way, I know you guys are wondering, when the hell is XRP going to do its thing? 21 Group, you guys know who that is. That's part of my stuff. And I'm not talking about them very much anymore because I'm not attending meetings quite as much as I probably should because I finally got my sleep straightened out. And I don't dig staying up at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. So I've actually slept like a normal human being for going to bed at like 10 o'clock and waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, which has been kind of nice because I could actually see the sun now. So I don't stay up. I usually catch the meetings after and stuff like that. However, we've done an awful lot. And some of you guys who don't know what I'm referring to, I work with some of the most powerful psychics and mediums and world leaders and government people and military people, just a collection of hodgepodge of some very strange company I keep. And but they all have a goal in mind of basically predicting what's going on with world events and being advisors to world kings and queens of this world. And so I refer to them as my 21 Group. And so it operates by a different name, but we'll just call it the 21 Group. So it made up a council of 21 of the finest, most powerful people I've ever met. And little old me on top of it with my little computer skills. And so what we're looking at here probably for XRP is we're looking at probably around about September, October. And it's looking more and more and more likely that's probably going to be when we're going to see the SEC charade come to an end. It's probably sometime in September. That would time out very well with a lot of things. Because basically what we're looking at I'm reading the comments. What we're looking at is by that time, let's reason this out for a second. So why would we want to make a major financial change? Well, we got some elections coming up around about that time. We're ending into the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, ramping up for the end of another year and stuff like that. So that's basically what we see. We see September, October being the end of this. And that's whether it is or whether it isn't. If you can buy XRP at the prices we just discussed at the top of the show here, get it done and then just throw it in the closet and ignore it. You go find something else to do. Because really your job is done. If you get it bought at 22 to 25 cents, there's nothing else to discuss. Just you own it. So congratulations. And there's the job well done. You don't need to be selling it at 30, 40, 50 cents to make a profit or something like that. So don't kill the golden goose once she makes a nest in your portfolio. Do not kill the golden goose. You do not. Once you buy that stuff, hold on to it like grim death. You do not want to let go of that. XRP is not a swing coin. Don't treat it like one. And for the lighter part, XLM shouldn't probably be treated like a swing coin either. So as long as we're on the swing coin topic, have I got something for you? Oh, look at this. Look at this. 15-cent T-Fuel, boys and girls. What you think about that? Now, how many times have you been on this broadcast with me and heard me tell you anything under 25-cent T-Fuel, buy it. Buy it. Because it's going to go up. It's going to go up to $1.25, $2, $3, $5 in the future sometime. But you cannot. And I'm saying this. This is just the guys talking here. Okay, so none of this is advice. I'm just an idiot with a microphone and too much opinion, and some really neat electronic toys. But here's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. I find it highly improbable for anyone who pays 15 cents for T-Fuel, even if it goes lower, and I am telling you it's going lower, anybody who buys this for 15 cents is not going to get hung out to dry with this thing, because this thing is the most volatile little monster you can possibly hope. This is a swing trader's wet dream. I mean, it literally, look at this thing. I mean, it up and down and up and down. And look at that. And we're not talking small swings here either. We're looking at, 136. I'm just grabbing some tape here. I mean, anywhere from 25, 40, 50, 100, 130. I mean, so if you can get it bought at 15 cents, you could buy this right now. Now, I'm not suggesting you do. The reason I'm not suggesting you do at this point, I'm just kind of gloating here because I, told you guys this was going to happen. But we've got another TA move here, so let's go ahead and do a little live TA. I'll show you. You can demonstrate this thing, and I am going to use a red arrow because she is going to happen. She's going to ping right off the top of that box. Actually, I'm going to move this down a little bit. It's going to go right into that box right there. And it's going to do it very, very soon. Not going to surprise me at all. Now, should you be buying that at 11.5 cents? I think you're probably perfectly fine doing that. If you want to be a degenerate gambler, and I know there's a few of you that are out there, more than a few of you are out there. It takes one to know one. You could hold out for the ISIS line, which is at 8 cents, slightly above 8 cents, 8.25 cents, 0.081. You could do that. However, I'm quite confident telling you that any buy you make on T-Fuel in this area here, and I use this term very sparingly, is pretty much a no-lose proposition, as I see it. If you can manage to control yourself until profit shows its pretty head. It's pretty much a no-lose proposition because you've got a use case coin at a beat-up price, and it's just a matter of buy it and wait your turn in line to take your profit. So when we get into the white box, yes, we could have the mother of all crashes below, but even if it goes clear down here to some of these other lines that we have watch points on, stuff like that, if you're just itching, after 2-3 months to buy something, and God bless you, I know what you're feeling, because it really has sucked since September. There just hasn't been an awful lot. They haven't been playing nice with us. But if you just got to get yourself something bought, yes, you can buy this in this white box, and you'll be just fine. Don't throw it all to the center. Don't push it all to the middle and stuff like that. But if you want to buy a pretty good amount of this, I do not see a chance for you to get hurt. In a month and a half, stuff like that, I would expect to be a lot higher than where we're at right now. So that's your play of the day for all the freebies, for all you guys who just want to kind of listen to somebody and maybe possibly get, what I like about T-Fuel is this, it's cheap, you guys, and I've used this term so much, people are starting to use it too, and I mean this with the most affection. You guys that got the McDonald's money, It's kind of become one of our little favorite sayings in the group. You guys that got the McDonald's paychecks and stuff like that, you're not stepping to Bitcoin. And why would you? I mean, there's no glory in that. But you can get yourself T-fuel. I mean, if you're working the fry-later there, so working the back and you're emptying the garbage cans at the back part of McDonald's and you haven't made yourself up to mid-level manager or whatever. You can get some T-fuel and you can look like a hero, man. 15 cents. You can actually get a little jingle in your portfolio. That's not bad. And there's really no excuse why you can't go. If you pick it up at 11 cents, I don't see any reason why you can't expect with a reasonable amount of wait time to do 15x, to do 15 to 18x. Going from 11 cents to whatever that takes you. That sounds about right to me. And will that change your life? No, but it will definitely make you feel like you did something. And then you can take that, and hopefully you can come into the group, and we'll get you another call, and then you can take that, and that's how it works. You got to do little baby steps. I don't want to start telling stories this early in the broadcast, but I can tell you I have been busted down to nothing many times in my life. I'm a multimillionaire now. That's an understatement. But I am a multimillionaire now, but I have been as poor enough to be living in third world countries with no money. And I've come back, and it's just one step at a time. It's very hard to do those middle steps, and I'll preach about that later on. But you must understand that those first steps are sometimes the hardest, and they're the most impatient steps that you'll ever take. And that comes from a 35-year investor. So listen to me. I know a thing or two about this, and so you have to have faith. And if you want to put your faith in somebody, I want to be that guy you put your faith in. So listen to me. I'll get you there. So let's take a look at Theta, which is not my favorite buy right now. It's just not. I love T-fuel just because of what it represents and its price point and its flexibility and stuff like that. But if you're looking at this, and you're just going, well, of course, obviously, look, it's going up, it's accumulating. We're ready for another leg up. I don't think so. I do not think so. If everything else is going to go down, we're going to go down to at least here. So zooming in on this just a little bit, we've almost come. We made it 1/3 down the TA point here. So once things start to really waterfall and stuff like that, I'm going to move that up just a little bit. I can see us easily coming down here into the $2 range. Now, if you remember some past broadcasts, I was telling you guys that look for it. Expect $2 T-fuel, or expect that dirty cheap T-fuel. And I've got 3 alarms right here, and that's in the nosebleed category. So I'm not gonna play my hand here for free publicly, but anything, a $2 T-fuel, my God, if you can get that bought, then do, because there will be a time when you will be seeing 2,500, 3,500 T-fuel, 3,600 T, or I'm sorry, not T-fuel, but Theta. It's not going to happen right away. Technology has to technology is a very slow thing, and some of you guys have been listening to for a long time know that I own electronics companies and stuff like that. So I understand this very, very, very well. And I've told you guys, this is not the season for this. This too shall have a season, but it's not the season yet. This is an entertainment coin. We're not talking about entertainment right now. We got world issues to deal with. We got some real stuff to work on. This is not the season for this yet. So, grab some wood and sit down, basically. But if you can get it bought for $2 or anywhere in that range, you absolutely want to own it at $2 and then never sell it until it gets into the stratosphere, much like XRP. So, all right. So here's the one that is interesting a lot of people lately because it's the best buy. It's an X coin, it's an ISO coin, and again, it's a call that I told you was going to happen. Clear up here, and so I said we're going to get this run up. And when she started to come down, I said, guys, three wave. Watch for the 3 wave. 1, 2, 3, or 3 bounce basically. And sure enough, there she is. So I told you, anytime this thing gets between the rails, I just told a couple of gold members that were asking me about this, can I buy it? Yeah, you can buy it right now at 6 cents. Not a bad price. However, I think this can get a little dirtier and a little cheaper because we haven't had the crash. We just had a wake up and smell the coffee moment. for crypto, because you got to admit that was a hell of a move, got everybody's attention, didn't it? Now, what I find rather interesting about this is most of these patterns are playing with that long stroke down, but we don't get what's called tweezers, and I'll have to go reiterate. Tweezers are basically a move down and then the next candle back up. You get something that looks like, or chopsticks if you prefer. We're not getting that. What we're getting is we're getting a stroke down and then another one kind of indecisively. You can see that right here. And so that tells me that I think this candle could turn red, or the next candle could go red, and we could do another stroke down. So where do we buy XDC? We buy XDC right here, right generally in that area right there, or better. That would be my onboarding preference. Is anything at about 4.5 cents or lower, good enough. And that's another one of those. Put it in your wallet and just leave it alone. Leave it alone until the financial system starts working off of ISO coins, and then you're going to be sitting pretty. Beyond pretty. You're going to be sitting gorgeous is what you're going to be sitting. Now, where do we get this money? Let's talk about the big red elephant in the room. So some of you guys have not had a chance to join us in the DAO project. What are you doing? Well, so we talked about this when my microphone was having problems. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reiterate. So we've got a project right now. It's called Rome DAO, ROME DAO, DAO, and this is a coin unlike. This is an animal unlike any other. It's definitely a tiger by another stripe. This thing is like owning a stock that pays dividends 3 times a day, 90 times a month, 1,080 times a year. You get paid no matter what the damn coin's doing. And so it's called rebasing. And so we'll talk about this here in a little minute. I want to get through most of the charts then, so stick around the broadcast. I'm going to show you something. If you've never seen a coin like this, stick around. You're definitely going to want to hear this. I'll try to keep the broadcast somewhat short and sweet. It's 10 o'clock Chicagoland time right now. I'll try to get through the base of this, and we'll discuss Rome DAO here a little bit and how you guys can be part of that. So you definitely want to join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. And, of course, if you like the accuracy of what you're seeing here and you're going, this guy might actually know something, and you want to join us, yes, I do know something. But join us at fibbycharts.com. Just simply go to subscribe right now. If you want to know about our different packages and charts and stuff like that, you can do that. You can get in as cheap as $39.95, or actually as cheap as $21 if you just want to see charts on a couple things. And, of course, obviously we do teach crypto. If you guys want to learn how to read my charts and actually how to capitalize them, we do actually have a class that teaches you that stuff too. But apparently Chase has been working on this. We're missing a few things here on the page. Let's go back here to this. Go click subscribe. Caught me off guard there. There we go. Our bronze packages start, and this tells you what's in the bronze packages, all the different coins and stuff. And as you get into the more things, what I would recommend you subscribe to is the gold or platinum level. Platinum level is basically what we call our deluxe, because it has 3 different levels of chat, and that's where I do most of my work. And we do inside videos like this, where occasionally when there's stuff to talk about, I wanted to do this as public. I do videos just for those guys. So if you guys are subscribed to bronze or silver, you're not getting that. So you want to get subscribed to at least gold, probably platinum. And if you're a real hardcore trader and you got over $25,000 in crypto, you might want to seriously consider Platinum Pro, which is our ultimate level. That's what I'm using here on the broadcast tonight. It's basically has over 500 different charts, and it has just a plethora of information. I mean, there's no such thing as too much information when it comes to making a financial decision. So if you want to know more about that, just go ahead and join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. You can simply, if you need help picking a subscription thing, just contact me, Red Baron, or any one of our moderators, and they'll walk you through it. Or you can just simply go ahead and read the description and stuff like that. Just go to the subscribe right here. Skip the tell me more thing here. Evidently, Chase, our web programmer, is making some changes here. But just go to subscribe, and you can go ahead and jump in on any of these. So, all right, let me go ahead and get back here. And this is Platinum Pro, what you're looking at here. So, where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? All right, so let's take a look at VeChain here. So VeChain is another one of those that, look at that, guys. Look at that. 5+ cents. Is it a good time to buy? I really got no problem with anybody paying this price. I really don't. But again, but wait, there's more. You can see where the prediction is. I clearly marked this stuff for you guys in platinum and in gold and VIP. So this is what you get when you subscribe to the VIP levels, which are gold, platinum, platinum plus, and of course, obviously diamond. You're getting this information, and I'm commenting on it all day long. All day long. And so, I'm watching this stuff live as it plays out, and I'm commenting on it. So here we are, 50% ready to go. Now, where are we going to end up at? We're going to end up at 4.5 cents, right in that range. Here is a target right here. However, I do believe we are going to go lower. So, in fact, I guarantee we're going to go lower. So if you can get it at 4.5 cents VeChain, man, snap that up, guys. Snap that thing up, because this thing is going to go to a level it's just going to be supersonic. This is a real functioning use case coin. I mean, that's obscene. 5 cents, a nickel and some change for something like this. Are you insane? This is adopted by the Chinese government. I know that's no ringing endorsement for anything, but DHL, third largest shipper in the world, uses this for supply line tracking. I mean, and this thing's a nickel, and yeah. So you definitely, it would be very hard, much like T-Fuel, it would be very, very hard to get hurt on this thing. I mean, these are the prices you guys have been waiting and waiting and waiting for me to give you the go-ahead on. So the go-ahead starts in the bottom of this orange box right here. Free call of the day. So we started a long time ago. I always do, I always like to help everybody, no matter how broke you are. Even if you haven't even got so much as McDonald's money, I like to be able to help. We've got people all over the world, third world countries and stuff like that listen to my broadcast, and they trade according to it. So we gave away Adam as a call a long time ago, and I told everybody this thing was going to go to $20 to $25 last year. And we hit $20, exactly like I said. But the party isn't over yet. So let's take a look, because it has been a while. Let's take a look and see where we're at right now. Doing pretty good in the face of everything else, wouldn't you say? And by the way, I think I probably hit my $25 target. Doing pretty good. I'm actually, oops, sorry, that's Adam. There we go. Where are we at? Hang on a second here. I'm spacing off. Hold on just a second here. OMG. There we go. OMG. Sorry, I had a senior moment. There we go. That's what I expected to see. All right, so OMG, basically now here we are at $4.82. So basically I would expect this thing to probably go down here and really strike bottom at about 330, 335. And there is a possibility of going lower. I think that might be a little aggressive. I think I would probably, you guys that want to play OMG being our free, I'm sorry, I was spacing off there. Getting this at around, let's call it about $3 to $3.25, right in that range there. Let me go ahead and put that in. Right in this, pretty much right in this box right here. That's a pretty good safe buy. And this thing will turn tail and it will go up. So look at the general. I got a lot of marks on here. Hang on. Look at the general trend. You can see the trend is going up, but we are going to come down one more time. But we're well within inside an upside trend, so we are going to see a considerably higher price from this. But look at what we've done in the past. 117% returns on a call that I made, so not too shabby. All right, so since I do this occasionally, pardon me, you guys have to realize I'm dyslexic. So some of you guys don't know that I'm dyslexic, and sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, I just got to go down a path here. So Adam, now we're all on the same page here. So pardon me, I had a Joe Biden moment there. Sorry about that. So anyway, Adam is really, it's bucking the trend. It's looking really good, but it's going to still suffer the same thing as everything else. So I said it was going to come down. We came down. When things get, they're good until they're not good. And so I think Adam is gonna give it up a little bit. And where's it gonna fall to? Well, sure doesn't look like it's giving off the signals it wants to drop. But I would expect probably right in that range right there. Right in that range right there. From anywhere optimistically $7 to probably likely $12.25. I would favor probably splitting the difference and trying to buy it at about 9 to 9.5 cents, right in that range. This thing, it doesn't up against Rome Dow. This thing doesn't pay squat. But if you're looking for just like return on regular crypto, this does pretty well. It does over 11%, and you can stake this thing in a lot of different places. But again, it's kind of like being forced to drive a Chevy when everybody else is driving Cadillacs and stuff like that. So Adam might back in the day have been a good investment coin, stuff like that. But up against something like Rome Dow, not necessarily. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit too. So, but if you're in, keep holding. No reason to get rid of it. So Dent is one of those that we've been watching for a long time, and boy, this thing just does not want to go down on one knee. But I said, just hold. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. I was not gonna give up on this thing and just let this thing just not get down there. And so, sure enough, so where I'm calling on this is I'm calling this circle, and I've been calling this circle for a good long time. Well, actually, I'm calling this exact line here at basically 0.001554. How's that for accuracy? And we're halfway there. And so we've finally come down. We passed one of our call arrows. We're just getting super close to another. Now, this is a purple theory, but again, we're getting close to this. But when we get down to this green box here, that's when you're going to know. It's all over but the crying. And so, or the celebrating, as it were. I do expect wicks possibly down here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So why I call this line is because that's our last real base of support before things get super ugly. And Dent just doesn't have it in it to get that level of ugly. And you'll notice that I've got something here. This is our third bot that's I'm starting to plug in, and it does a wave theory, and it follows just perfectly. I mean, you can see it up, down, up, and then she broke form, and that's when I knew shit was going to start getting bad. And sure enough, and because I commented when we were over here, I said, we broke form, guys, something's going to happen. And I told everybody in VIP, I said, this is going to happen when we break out of this thing. Something's about to happen. Sure enough, I was vindicated right again. So just basically hang tight. She's coming. Now here's one that we haven't talked about for seriously. It was a hot property for a while, but again, I've told you. I believe the last live stream I told you just stay away from this thing, and I'm still kind of that mind. I want this thing to really get the hell beat out of it before I want any of you guys coming back at it. I think it will be a great coin. I think it's a good sister purchase along with VeChain. It's in that same element and that same thing, but I want to see this thing get its ass kicked before anybody gets back into it. And the reason why is because I'm mad at it. Some people have lost some money at it. I mean, it was going really well. Veronica Jane, our in-house psychic, she said that this thing spoke to her, and she was right. When she was talking about it, she made these calls. This wasn't me. This was her. And, but again, I told you, when we hit the triangle, here's the triangle formation falling right out, just like she always does. And I said, when this thing falls out, it's going to go down. And sure enough, it has. And so you can see we're actually sitting below support right now, which means we're going to go even lower. So do not get involved with this thing, because before it's all said and done, probably going to get right on down there. Sub penny. Now, should you own it sub penny? Well, my personal belief is this. This was one of those coins when the time was right to make money on it. A lot of you guys made a lot of money using the calls. Made a lot of money. But a few of us, and yours truly included, got a little big for his britches, and I made a stupid, I was doing a scalp on it, and being the degenerate gambler that I am, I got distracted because I was busy doing something else, some other shiny thing. And I don't use stop losses. I trade. I know you guys that are experienced traders going, dumbass. I don't do that because I have an entirely different system and set of tools than you do. So I don't have to. I live trade. But I got distracted and I watched it go down a little bit and I just let it ride and I ended up taking a 23% loss on it, which I know that's pretty monumental, but I didn't have a whole lot into it. But still, my pride's damaged or whatever. So right now I'm just pouting. So I want this thing to get its ass kicked before I'm going to give it any of my money. But again, if this thing got down here to let me put a marker on this so you guys that are on cell phones can see this. Hold on just a second. If this thing got down to, that's a lot of zeros. If this thing got down to, let's just call it. There we go. If it got down about there, a small bag wouldn't probably kill you. A small bag probably wouldn't kill you because what kind of returns? Let's be honest about this because if you're going to buy this, what are your hopes? You got to know your exit before you go in your interest. Well, I got it cheap. Great. What are you going to do with it? Well, I don't know. Then you shouldn't be buying it. So the question is, if you bought it at this appealing price that just is too much to say no to, what is your intention? What is your intention with this? Do you want to hodl it until you're a multimillionaire? Good luck. Do you want to flip it? Do you want to make quick money? Do you want to hold on to it for a couple years? What is your intention? Know your entry or know your exit before you do your entry. Here's what I'm going to suggest to you. If you get in on this thing right here, I'll show you exactly where you want to get out. Right there. That's a 256% return on your money. Call it good. Get the hell out of Dodge. The reason why is because you've got a massive, massive ceiling of resistance right there. And so that's good money right there. That's where you want to be. And actually, your resistance starts right there. So you can make 200 to 250% return on your money. When you hit right here, just hang on to it until you get it. Now, I'm not suggesting that we might not shatter and go higher. Our next resistance would be right there. But again, if you're just... You got to know what it is you're hoping to achieve with this. If you're just getting into this thinking, I want to make $1 million, I want to make $1 million, that's not a realistic way to look at this, especially with probably some of the money you guys would probably be putting into this. So, if you put in 500 to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is you can stomach without going really hot and heavy on this thing, just go into it with the feeling that, I want to make 100 to 300x or 100 to 100 or 200.5x. That's probably a good time to take the money and run because there just is no future on this coin yet. It's good tech, it's got good promise and stuff like that, but we're a long way from that being a reality. So take them. Don't pass that easy money. When you take the damn profit is what I'm talking about. When you see this stuff, don't pass it up. All right. Oh, this thing. I just don't really give a damn about this coin. Can you tell? I really don't really spend an awful lot of time because it's just they're hiding in Africa, and that's what they're doing. They're hiding in Africa right now because they know the SEC is going to come barking at them as soon as they get done chewing on Ripple. They're going to come after these guys, and they're hiding in Africa, and it shows. I mean, look at this thing basically is giving back. Let me get all my spaghetti out of here. I mean, look at it. We're bouncing right off the floor, right off the damn floor. Now, if we pass this dual AI line, which we will, we're going to come down to here, and we're most certainly going to come down here to this, down in the 26-cent range. So it's not going to surprise me to come down to that area right there, which is give or take about, let's just split the difference and call it 24.5 cents. Very, very likely it could come down that far. It's just in the cards to happen. And that I realize I'm telling you that's the 70% drop. I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately, but let's go back and let's get the spaghetti out here again. You show me where there's any form of floor support beyond right there. That's the only support you got. I'm sorry, I got all this stuff in here. I have to kind of flick this on and off. That's the last real support and resistance you got is right there. If we break past basically 80, we'll call it about 85, 86 cents, that is not a hell of a lot of support to try and be holding up all of this weight on that tiny little stick right there. It'll drop, and it will drop to 30 cents and lower. So about 40 cents and lower. So that's where it's going to go, because I'm not suggesting 40 cents. I'm going to tell you it's going to come right on down to the dual AI line like they always do, because they're magnetic. So not going to surprise me to see it get down to 25, 26 cent, right in that range. So I would stay completely the hell out of this thing until such time. Whatever love you have or don't have for Cardano, if you're in that group, you're in that group. I'm not going to dissuade you, but I am simply going to be here to tell you when the smart money is showing its head, and that would be in the 22 to 25 cent range, or 20. Let's say 22 to 26. Let's give you a wide range. That would within that circle would be your buy zone. Anything more than that, I don't like your odds. So, all right. Polka dot is just solid, man. It's solid. It's doing what it's got to do, though. Again, we're going to come down. There's the call. There's the target, 1645. We're trucking on down. Now, are we going to go lower than that? Yes, we are going to go lower. I'm going to go ahead and get some of these out of here. We are going to go lower than that. We've got another ISIS line here, which obviously we've hit. Now, obviously, these calls, when we hit once, we can hit a second time. So I'm not suggesting for any shortage here. Let me actually do something here real quick. I'm going to reposition that. I got a new feeling here that I want to try something out on. I'm having a feeling, so... Yep. All right. So even though ISIS hasn't come down and given lines, stuff like that, I'm going to tell you that's about where I believe we could see Polkadot. Let's just call it $12.50. The reason why is if we carry that across, we can see that we have a little bit of a bottom right here. And just to start actually we could probably go a little bit lower than that. We have a little bit of a window right there that we can fall into. If you guys don't understand what you're just looking at here, just trust me. So basically between these two lines here, we'll see conservatively the tip of that arrow, probably about $12.50. So let's go ahead and get that one out of there. Let's not get too optimistic. So $12.50 would be a very likely drop. Let's go ahead and put another marker there at $12.50. It's like watching paint dry. It's my OCD kicking in. I gotta have even numbers. There you go. All right, so $12.50 would be an excellent price. Excellent price for Polkadot. Polkadot's going to be well up into the multiple hundreds. Now, Polkadot, the network, is associated with our Rome DAO project. So I've took a pretty hot and heavy position on this at a higher price than this, because you don't know. But I'm perfectly fine with it because I know where this is going. And so again, like I've said many, many times, is you got to be happy with your position or don't be taking it. So I had taken position when we were on our ascension up here. I bought in right here, so I'm not getting hurt. Now, I don't chase things to the bottom, even though I'm completely convicted that we're going to go down here. I'm not going to sell. I don't play that game, and so I'm perfectly fine right here. I took a position. I'm good on it. Fine, whatever. And because I'm looking to be way up there, so penny. I don't step over dollars trying to pick up pennies. It's just not worth it. And so, but if you're coming in new to the game, if you're coming in new to the game, then basically you have a better chance to be picking it up anywhere between $16.45 and $12.50. Anywhere in that range is an excellent place to purchase. And Polkadot is going to be the everyday man's Ethereum, is the way that they're kind of billing that a little bit. And so you definitely want to be a part of owning something like that, because, I mean, my God, wouldn't you have loved to pay $12.50 for Ethereum? Now, I'm not suggesting it's going to hit Ethereum-type prices, but it's going to have that type of use. So, where do I see Ethereum go? The last time I looked at the Anubis output for for Polkadot's upper end, I believe I saw that somewhere around about $900. In the next 36 months. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Is my volume down again? There, how's that? A little bit better. If I get to jacking with my volume, it goes down on me. Hang on just a second. Let me make a little. I learned something about my software, about how it moves and how it adjusts, and so I think I finally got a lock on what's going on. Yeah, sure enough. Hold on just a second here. There we go. Better? That's probably a lot better. There we go. Okay, now we're back. Piece of crap. We're holding everything together with duct tape and gum, you know, so it works. It works. Just don't look behind the curtain. All right, so 425 was the call. Hit it and hit it again. So we are very, very dangerously close to hitting this call here. $2.30. Actually, I'm going to revise this downward. Let's go ahead and call it about a buck. Let's go ahead and call it $1.75 conservatively. There we go. So $1.75 on Sushi Swap. This is one you guys that want to look for those fun kills. Those you know, it's boring. Hodling is boring. It's friggin' boring. I know that. If you want something where you can make a little pocket change or whatever, Sushi Swap is always good for that. T-Fuel's better for it, but Sushi Swap at $1.75, yep, you can do that. You can do that. Now, again, know your exit. Why are you getting into this damn thing? So let me show you what can happen with this. Now, let me also show you this, because this just popped up on my radar here. So we have the makings of something I've mentioned 3 times. What happens with that? This does. So be careful. It could go down to $1.75. And again, if you pay $1.75 on this thing's been considerably more expensive than $1.75. When this thing moves, it moves violently. So let me show you. I mean, look at that, and that makes my point exactly. Just looking at from here to here, just for the fun of it, that's 1,300%, guys. I mean, this. If you want a coin that'll definitely get your pulse up, this will do it. And getting it bought at $1.75, that's a pretty good start. That's a pretty good start. And Sushi Swap, let me tell you this. This is for you guys that are small-time investors or just not that knowledgeable. This is a Coinbase coin, I believe. You can get it bought on Coinbase if I remember. Check me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe you can get it bought on Coinbase or any other numbers. But this is one of those coins where you can say, okay, I'm going to listen to Barron. I'm going to enter an order for $1.75, and by God, he better be right, or I'm going to chastise him publicly. But I'm going to buy it for $1.20 or $1.75. Oh, I bought it. Okay, well, now what do I do with it? Now what you want to do is you want to set that order at a certain level. Hold on just a second. I've got somebody mention. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change gears here a little bit. On chat, you probably hear that ding in the background. On Facebook with me right now, I had something happen the other day. This is a callback to a story from way, way back. So we're going to get into story time here for a second. So if you guys remember me talking about, everybody knows I lived in the Philippines for a long time. There's a gentleman who's living on the, hang on, let me finish this for a second. I might actually show you this on live stream here. Okay, so I have a little gal that is in the Philippines, and she went and met this American. You've got to see this video she sent me. So some of you guys know that I said this gentleman was trapped in the Philippines, much like I was, and I said I wanted to help him, and we lost contact with him. Well, this poor bastard lived through the monsoons that just went through and I saw the video of what he's living in. I would rather live in a tool shed than what this guy is living in right now. Guys, I'm not joking. This thing will absolutely, this video that I'm about to show you here, if she's going to try and send this to me here, I'm going to help this guy. And if you guys want to join me and you want to help send a little crypto, or you want to help do something like that, be assured that if you do want to join this and help this gentleman survive, 100% of anything you donate will go to this gentleman. As I understand it, she's messaging me here as I'm talking to you. She's sending me the video right now. Cool. So I can actually show this. Everyone, some of you guys that are new on live stream, we have a lot of humanitarian stuff that we do. We feed the homeless, and it's just something that we do. I mean, you should not store up your wealth for no reason. So like to spread it around, and make the world a better place. And so she's sending me the video right now. So I'm gonna, if this comes across and I'm able to do this, I'm gonna try and show you this video, and it's absolutely gonna mortify you. This guy, what he's living in. It's basically just some bamboo leaned up against a tree, and he's been living through the monsoons and stuff like that. So now that I lost contact with this gal, and I was going to try to help this guy, and she popped back up in my life again. So I asked her what happened with him. She said, yeah, I'm going down. She's feeding him and stuff like that. But he has no help whatsoever. Can't eat, there it is, just came in. Pardon me for just a second, guys. I'm going to kill my mic here real quick, have a real quick chat with her for about 3 seconds. I'm going to play this video for you because you really got to see this. You just have no idea how lucky you are as an American and a Westerner. Hold on just 1 second. I'm going to blank my screen out, so my screen's going to go black, so hang tight for just a second. Okay, guys. So, pardon my. I'll get back to crypto here in just a second. Here, let me go ahead and kick on my screen here. All right. Pardon the distortion here on this. Hold on just a second. So this is in in the Philippines, and so this gentleman, this is a little gal or little girl that hangs out with Maki, who is the girl that I talk to. And so I assume you can probably hear the audio here in this. So I'm gonna play a couple seconds. Somebody tell me if you can hear the audio on this. I assume you probably can. Somebody let me know if they can hear the audio coming over live. I'll pause it and back it up here just a second. So let somebody let me know if they can hear the audio on that. Did you hear audio during that video? Might have turned up. Okay, all right. So let me explain what you're looking at here. So the monsoons come through the Philippines. I mean, when they come through, holy crap, guys! Kids swim in the streets of Manila. It's deep. You think you've been through some rain? You haven't been through nothing. So, I mean, when it comes through, it takes houses. Lives get lost. I mean, it's brutal. There's 120 million people living on 7,700 islands in the Philippines. It is dense, and when it comes through, it wipes out families. It's unbelievable. So, and these people just take it with such grace. And so, anyway, what we're about to look at here, the story is this gentleman, much like yours truly, got trapped in the Philippines, ran out of money, and sweet people, but they're just the government will not help you. I can attest to this that I got stuck in the Philippines and I had to use my cunning to get out. And I'm lucky because I'm a survivor. But this gentleman, he got trapped here, and I think he's been there for 6 years, and he has no job because you can't have a job there. He has no way to depend upon, and this sweet little gal brings him food, and she hasn't got any money to begin with, but she brings him food to survive on. So he's surviving off the kindness of strangers. He has no way to get home. He has no plane ticket, whatever. And so my last conversation was I was going to talk through Maki's phone, talk to this gentleman. I was going to put him on the plane and bring him back to U.S. Still might do that. So, but I want to show you something here real quick. This doesn't really have like a ending. I just want you to see the face of this gentleman and the way that he lives. And so we'll talk about this later on, stuff like that. So prepare yourself. This is something you've never seen the likes of. Just consider yourself how lucky you are as an American once you see this.
House. Wala.
What you're seeing here is the bridge that got washed out
Dali, dili,
from the monsoon coming through, which wasn't that great to start with.
Halaga, halaga. Ah. Dali na. Hala. Dali. Hala, kaloy. So here it is.
And there's the gentleman's house right there. This is what he's living in.
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You're cooking?
Yeah, I was gonna cook some eggs, hard boiled some eggs.
Okay. Yeah, we bought something for you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right, okay. Well, thank you. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Look at
So you stay here?
Yeah. This is my little home. Here,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. It's windy here, right?
Yeah. But all these coconut trees, when the typhoon was happening, all the coconut trees over here, they kind of blocked out the wind. So
Yeah, I'm glad, I'm
Safe.
glad it's safe
Safe.
after the typhoon.
Yeah, it might have saved my house. Yeah.
House.
So there you go, guys. There's the very end of the story. So I'm sorry, I'll rebroadcast this in just a second. So, I have it in my heart to change the world. That's what I'm here for. Very few people are blessed like I am to know why they were put on this planet. My job is to make life better for everybody that comes in contact. So you're not just dealing with somebody who just wants to make a couple of bucks and just want to, go out and buy that Lamborghini and nice cars. I do have plenty of nice cars, but I have enough nice cars to know that doesn't make me happy. And what makes me happy is helping people like this gentleman here. So my job is to say that this guy does not suffer. And so my project this week will be to see what I can do to get some food in this guy's stomach, to get a quality roof over this guy's head, and by God, bring him back to our states if we can. So if you guys would like to be a part of that, contact me privately. Again, 100% of anybody that wants to donate, that would like to join this. I'm not asking you to do it, but I know we've got a lot of good. Crypto people are some of the best people in the world, and you've never met a sweeter group of people than crypto people, and I'm privileged to call you guys my friends. So anyway, just wanted to share that with me. Just popped up. Just thought it was something that I wanted to. I always like to kind of close my stories, that had been hanging out there, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a little more information on that. Might even possibly be able to, right currently it is it's 10:30, so it'd be roughly about 10 o'clock in the morning right now in the Philippines. If it were possible, I might do like a closed broadcast where I actually talk by phone to this gentleman and kind of get his story and stuff like that. So I know some of you guys would probably be interested in hearing that. So, but this is feel good stuff, guys. This is why we do this. It's not so we can have padded castles and let everybody else this kind of suffer and stuff like that. You'll never find a greater joy in life than helping your fellow man. It's just the truth. So anyway, guys, let's get back to the regular business here. All right? Thank you very much for inviting and let me indulge myself here because it's just kind of what I do. So anyway. All right, so one of the superstars we talked about here was Reef. Reef is one of these that you gotta get a piece of this, man, because it's gonna be amazing. So we've already got a ping. We're right on the top of the watch zone box. We're ready to make a buy here pretty soon. All it takes is a dip into this box anywhere, and you get this thing bought, guys. Don't screw around. This thing's going to $3.36. I have been touting this for it feels like a year. I bought it clear up here. Let me show you how far ago. I bought it at the blue line, and I told everybody, again, I've told this story a million times, but I bought this at the blue line, and I said, guys, this is going to be a great one. And after that call, it went up 90%. Within hours of me telling everybody that you should get out on this, it went up 90%, and we sold. And she took forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever to come back down. But now she's so far down below my original buy. Now we're an amazing 60% cheaper than the first time I bought it. I would be perfectly fine buying it right now, but I know it's going to get even better because we still got a crash coming, or we still got a hard correction coming. So to be in the area, anywhere in this box, to the middle of this box, to the lower middle of this box, get it bought. Both hands, sell that extra kidney. You don't need that other car. You know, why do you have 3 kids? You don't need to have 3 kids. Sell one. You know, I'm just sell the in-laws. Do something for God's sake. You McDonald's people, knuckle up, man. Do it. This is where you put your McDonald's money. This is a game changer. You can put legitimate McDonald's money into this and have true life-changing money come out on the backside if you can control yourself for about 48 months, 48 to 60 months. I know that seems like a long time, but you know, one McDonald's paycheck, just to be funny, one McDonald's paycheck invested at a penny. I mean, come on, you know, at far less than a penny will give you somewhat life-changing cash on the backside. So this is cheap lifestyle insurance is what we're selling here. All right. All right. So did we cover Shiba? I think we did, but I'll go back and I'll go back and belabor this one more time. Oh no! I don't think we did. I was talking to the VIPs. So, all right. Well, this is how the story ends. I said we're going into the circle. I said this a month ago, and we're getting there. We are getting there. And so it's on the 1-day chart. So I go ahead and get rid of that. So these are moon cycles. I did this for Tiny Tank. She likes to follow the moon cycles, so that's strictly for her. But again, we're bouncing off the mid channel here as expected. We're tracking and respecting that fine, but eventually we're going to stop respecting it, and that's when you get the Rodney Dangerfield drop right down into here, and you get no respect at all, right down into the circle, and then I get to mock you. Let me put it this way. I have a long history of people say, "Why can you badmouth Shiba?" I'm like, I don't badmouth. I like to rib you guys that just won't listen. And I told you, get the hell out of this thing. You know I did. And so some of you listened, most of you listened, some of you didn't. And so now you're going to suffer. So story's not going to get better for you anytime soon. And as far as like when's the upside, I'm not telling you there's an upside. I'm not going to tell you that because I truly don't believe there's going to be one. You know, we're going to a penny. Just forget that. Just stop. It's not happening. Mathematically, it's insane. It's insanity to even think that. You know, I'll go ahead and I'll restate my position on this. How many times have you heard about all these? What was the last exchange? Some Indian exchange. There's a lot of people in India. Some Indian exchange last. It didn't even begin to budge the market. No, everybody just shrugged that off. And so everybody's like, Robinhood. Yep, that's going to do it. Robinhood. When Robinhood lists, man, we're going to the moon. I find that highly unlikely because Robinhood can't carry that much weight in the market that it would swing that thing to the kind of numbers that I've seen on YouTube and social media in general. It just ain't going to happen. The only thing that can make this thing go up, this thing by Shiba Inu, make this thing go up is a burn, a series of burns. And if you do get one burn, and nobody's talking about any burns right now, seriously, if you do get one burn, you're going to have another one. And they don't burn on Monday, burn on Tuesday. They're going to talk about it and kick it around and fuck around with it, pardon my language. But, you know, it'll be another, and it might be 6 months, might be a year, might never be. So let's be honest with one another. It's not going to do what people think it's going to do. that are hoping it's going to do. Meanwhile, you got something like Rome. Prices are down right now, but every 8 hours, baby, it's putting money in my pocket, and it's more coins and more coins and more coins. It's sick. And you guys that have shucked off, got rid of your dog coins, and put it into Rome know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it hurts watching this stuff go down, but Shiba's not giving you jack. I mean, it's not. It's just not. And Doge, less than that. So these hope coins up against something like Rome, it's just not even a conversation worth having. And so you either have two choices: either be out of the game with all cash, trying to buy at the bottom on a coin much more credible than with a much more credible future like T Fuel or whatever, or into Rome, which is paying you right now as you're riding it to the bottom. And those are the only two things that make good financial sense. So you guys that are still, I let me go back on this one more time because I really kind of want to put a little bit more finer edge on this. Let me appeal to your last little bit of common sense. So, let me get rid of this here. All right, so we can see where my call is here. So let's talk numbers. So you can see where my call is right here. So if we're looking at from here to just, let's say, the top of this box, that's a 53% drop. I'm going to say this again. That is a 53% drop. If you're holding this right now, asking yourself, you're telling yourself, boy, whenever they do that burn, blah, 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 insert favorite story and life-changing, revelation in here at that point in time. I'm telling you, and I'm demonstrating, and I've got a good track record of telling you and showing you and having it happen. 53% is coming. Do you want to hold this coin and watch yourself lose another 53%? When you could get out of this coin right now and get into Rome DAO, and every 8 hours you're getting more coins and more coins and more coins and more coins. And when those coins go up in value, Shiba's not even going to be a conversation you're going to remember having. Let me appeal to you one last time. For the love of God, if you're holding some of these shit coins and you're listening to all the little skateboard kids and all the dummies that have no financial acumen that are telling you, oh yeah, just because you get a group of lemmings that are all telling you, yep, that horizon there looks really good. The reason it looks really good is because you know what's on that horizon? A cliff, and you're going to go over with them. So don't listen to people that don't have tools, that don't have experience, that don't have financial understanding, that are convincing you that this thing is going to do anything. Because even if it does go up a little bit, it will not out-accelerate an ISO coin. It will not with the credibility, with the certainty. And that's what we're really looking for, is the certainty. You're buying a lottery ticket, but do you go to the gas station, buy a lottery ticket, immediately leave the gas station and have somebody in the parking lot go, hey, give me half your tickets? Because that's basically what you're doing. They're taking half your tickets from you so that when it does turn around, you got half a chance of going back up. So if that makes any sense to you, there's a good analogy in there somewhere. You just got to dig for it. But basically what I'm telling you is this. It doesn't make sense, guys. If you're still holding this, and if some of you are lucky enough to be in profit, take it, because the whole market is going down. It truly is. And it's going to take this with it. So speaking of other dog coins, let's look at this one. This one actually is doing better, but again, here we are. Does this look familiar? I mean, this is basically the same exact thing that I was showing you on XLM, and it's doing it. It's heading right there. So we're coming out of an M formation. We flatlined, and we're starting to work our way down here. Pretty soon, we're going to be right pinging off of this right here. And but look, where's the support? Let me get all this out here. Where's the support? There isn't any. Once we get past this AI line right here, it's just boom, going to the bottom, kids. 6 cents. 6 cents Doge. Now, should you buy 6 cents Doge? Well, okay, everything I just told you about Shiba does not necessarily apply to Doge, because Doge is now mainstream. It's God forbid I should use the word credible, but you know what I'm saying here. I mean, got name brand recognition. And so, um, for lack of a better description, or for lack of a better thing to kind of cling to, if you had to you just had to buy a dog coin, Doge would be it. Doge would be it. 6 cents. I mean, I can tell you right now, Crypto Rich, and who's famous for just absolutely just murdering this coin, he's not buying in. He's done. He's hung up his jersey in the rafters, and he's not playing the game anymore. So, and not saying that at 6 cents he probably couldn't turn around and go 6 cents to 12 cents and double his money, or 25 cents or whatever, because I do believe Doge will go to $1.25. That I've said that for months and even a year, and I'm not changing my opinion on that. Because it's a different animal, literally. It's a different animal than Shiba. Shiba is a completely different mathematical formula and objective and group of buyers and whatever all else. So Doge, not the most financially savvy thing you could do, but there is merit in saying, should I buy at 6 cents Doge? Yeah, you could. But again, it's a lottery ticket. It's just a different type of lottery ticket. Oh, and I do believe Iron Sharp. Yeah, 6 cents. But if you really look at it here again, look at where we're at though. I mean, you can see. I mean, that's a we got a pretty good amount of support and resistance there. So if we were to kind of just take that and just drag it across, you can see we hit the box there. I'm not right on top of it, but that's basically the lowest that I think we can probably go is about 3 cents. But I'd split the difference and tell you about 4.5 cents. I don't really see a possibility of going lower than 4.5 cents before this thing can do whatever it wants to do going to the bottom, but at some point in time the rest of the market's going to start turning up and it'll drag this up with it, is what I'm saying. So I don't really necessarily believe that this will go down and just keep going down while everything else will finally turn in March or in April and start going up. So it'll drag this up. So I think you've got a certain down window with all of these coins, and this one is also another one. So, if you were to have a target for this, I'd say maybe I'd agree with Iron Sharp. Yeah, put in a what the hell buy on Coinbase for 4.5 cents. See if it gets bought. Don't bet the farm, or even you can bet a couple chickens, but don't bet the whole farm. Now, Matic is another one of these that boy, I watched a lot of you guys. I love it when I'm right. I watched a lot of you guys. You're swing trading this. I said I made that little sketchy sketch there. I said it's going right here, guys. And I wasn't kidding. These are what I call my gestalts. You guys understand? I've explained this before. It has to do with remote viewing. It's something I'm trained to do. Gestalts this is your subconscious psychically giving you. You got to learn to trust it. That's that gut thing I talk about. And this shows you how accurate I can be. So I told you we're going to go to right about there. And that's exactly where we ended up going. Long before the 200 EMA came over there. I mean, over in this area, I was telling you I expected to go. Now, will we go further? Yes, we will go further. So Matic is one of those you want to buy, just not yet. And so there's where you want to buy it. You want to buy it, let's just call it about anywhere from $1.13 down to about $1.03, right in that range, because this is a dual AI line range. So anywhere from $1.03 to $1.10, right in that range, would be fabulous buy. Do it. Don't even question it. And that's about a 35% drop. Very doable in a panic drop. Very, very doable. So anyway, but I said. And so let's look at this a little bit further, because I am seeing some indicators here. So we'll just call that one a win for yours truly. So these are our indicators. These are called the Snapdragon. This is a indicator that we use. We always look for green to be above red, above blue. That tells us when we're going up. When green is below red and blue, then we're having cloudy skies and chance of rain. So right now it's going to be raining on our parade, and it's going to be going lower. So also, we are looking at this ghosty little bubble here called a Bollinger Band. As we go into something called a throat, which is a tightening right there. That's our throat. When it starts to open up, it will accelerate in the direction of where it's heading. So in other words, if it's going down and we are opening our throat, that means we're going to continue down, and we are basically get a second opinion right there. We can see that our RSI is low. We can see that we have rolled red. Our DMI is not looking impressive. So we've got all systems go for down. So that's 5 for 5 match down. So she's going to go down unquestionably. That's when you really like it, is when all the lights are green across town. You know that you can floor it in the direction that you want to go. So, and it is going down. Now, how far down remains to be seen, but it's not time to be pulling the trigger. But when we look at this combined with other things that we're looking at, that gives us a market sentiment. That's how you get market sentiment. You don't look at one coin and go, oh, well, that's what the market's doing. You get a sentiment based upon 6 or 7 different, market leaders or market makers. Now, I've been paying attention to this. Now, this thing is, as I predicted to you, this is how this was going to work. I said this was going to play into a triangle, and sure enough, what it did. Now, I also told you that we were going to hit this nasty little guy right there, and we did. I mean, that was a hell of a drop prediction, you got to admit. 85%, 80% drop, I called that. Not a lot of people with the balls to do that. And so, there it is. There it is. Now, this is one of those, you guys that understand what I was doing with this a while back when, having fun. This was one that I found a rhythm to this, and we exploited it and made a pile of money. The guys that were following that were doing this, we were catching all of these spikes. Now, this thing has stopped doing that, and I'm watching for that in other things. I'm trying to find something that I can apply that, because it's a new theory that I'm doing now. Looking for market cycles, or looking for oscillations. That's why I'm plugging that new bot in, and just basically looking for these pulses where we can capitalize on, like, there and to a lighter degree there, definitely there. But I haven't found anything yet, so we're still looking. So this one, as far as this one as a coin, I had a talk with I believe it was one of our VIPs that was telling me, he says, are you aware that, like, the head guy for this company is doing some kind of shifty stuff, and there's just some apparently some sketchy things going on or whatever. And that's what I told him. I said, that's the news, and I don't listen to news, because news is all bullshit. And basically news, if you understand this, and maybe some of you don't, the very few the very same people that own the computers that run the show are the same people that own the exchanges. And oh, by the way, did you know they're the same people that own major news companies? Did you know that? I've told it a couple of times, but I don't really probably cover it as often as I should. So you've got an unholy union of newsmakers and market makers and market manipulators, all in one little one-stop shopping collection of people. So in other words, if I own the news and I own the exchange, don't think I can't make myself some money by scaring the herd every once in a while. So when I hear news about certain things, I kind of take it with a heavy grain of salt. And so anyway, but if you remember correctly, when I said to you back when Binance delisted this, I said, ain't nothing wrong with this coin, because there's not. Fundamentally, this coin has got great upside potential. And so, we played a few of these things, a few of these wild gyrations. Let me get some of that out of you. I mean, look at this thing, just up and down, up and down, up and down. Money being made here, even as it was going down. So, and what I was suggesting and telling you guys, and again, what we've got here, it might look like, oh, well, this thing's going down again, but we have our old familiar 3-wave right there. We're waiting for that third wave to happen. Now, you could possibly call that a wave. I wouldn't. Generally, a 3-wave works like this. It goes up, and then it goes up to half of what it did, and then it goes up, and then it goes up to half. See, we haven't got that half yet. So it's kind of meandered a little further down the trail than it normally should or would have. But what I'm telling you is I have in my gut feeling is we're about to see a launch from here to probably about there. And that ain't no small amount. 380%. 380%. And if you guys remember my history, I called this one right here, which was absolutely monumental. I called that almost to the hour. I said it's coming. And I have that same feeling again for this. Now, should you buy in right now? I really don't have that too much of a problem with anyone paying 28 cents for Populous. However, if the rest of the market's going down, we should probably go down further with Populous too, because it's the Rodney Dangerfield of crypto right now. It's getting no respect. Where could we go? We are on the floor. I mean, we don't have shit for support on this thing. So this could be it, kids. I don't know. Now, I have nothing below this, but what I do have, and this is kind of spooky, is I have this clear down here. That's just too far for me to accept. 509% to get to the next dual AI line. To get to the next AI line would be 175%. That's far too aggressive for even a shitcoin drop. So as I look at this, I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe we could go to the lowest possible support, which would be right there. That would be another 50 to 59% drop. That I'll spot you. I'll sport you that. We could probably do that. Let me show you a little bit more here. So if we go from where we're at here now to maybe the ultimate lowest, it can be anywhere from 50 to 60%, something like that. So we still got a little bit left, but not a lot. So I would be willing to probably let that go down to about 18 cents, maybe 18 and a half cents. And I probably would just call it good, get it bought. Because from 18 and a half cents, when this thing does start to go back up, let me clear all the garbage out here. Let me just clear this completely out. So when this thing goes from 18 to 18 and a half cents, let me show you where it will meet its resistance. So getting back to my thing that I was kind of preaching about earlier, what's your exit? Why are you buying this thing? What are you thinking? Well, you got to know what your exits are. If you're going to be getting this, wow, man, I got it at a good price, 18 cents. Relevant to what? If you don't know your exit, you don't know that you made a good buy. Follow what I'm saying? This is simple concepts, but they're all so easy to overlook if you don't think. If you don't think before you jump, you end up spending money on stuff you shouldn't buy. So let me find something here. Okay, so this one. So if we get in at about 18 cents, we'll just call it right there. Okay, our first resistance is going to be right about here, right about there. That's 242%. You think you could be happy with a 242% return? That's 2.5x thereabouts. Not too shabby. Our next one comes over here in this general area here. That puts you at roughly about 300%, 320%. Now, if you happen to catch a bull market where everything's just raging, this is going to rage too. Our next resistance up is way up. It's here, 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 and here. That's 700%. Now, my money is right about here. I'll show you why. And this is a 675% return on your money, by the way. Why would I say that? Because if we go back to our three-wave theory, wave number 1 goes here, wave number 2 goes there, wave number 3 goes right about there, and that is right at resistance at 675% return on your money. Now, anything can happen in crypto. But if you're listening and you know the odds, you know your TA, you know history, and you know how things work and how they normally should progress, how things work when they normally work, and how these markets move, then 675% is a very expected price to get. Is a very expected return to get. And if you get 675% return on your money, get out. You greedy bastard. Get out, man. There's no reason to own this thing anymore. There's no reason to risk it. If you can make that kind of money, yank it out of there and go buy something else. Swing to the next lowest line and look for the next investment. Call it a day. Yes, I'm seeing in comment 300 books. I sat over in the Philippines, so now that you've seen that little thing, I didn't live quite as bad as him. I was living in basically a 2-car garage. I sat over there damn near. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm backtracking my thing here, but I saw a comment. 300 books. What have you done with your life? It's amazing when you spend your time doing things that aren't wasting your time. What you do with your time, I mean, we're all given the same amount of time on this planet. It's what you do with it that matters. And so I'll do crow. But I was weeks from being like this gentleman you just saw. Weeks. And I had my son Chase with me. And by God, that was not going to happen because I'm a very protective father. And I mustered every bit of my self-respect and every bit of my skill. I thought, what can I do to change my life? And I started to just download. I learned how to write books on Amazon. And I started to download all my knowledge, all this knowledge that I'm spitting at you guys. I did it nonstop for 18 months. I wrote book after book after book after book. A guy got so good and so fast at it, I actually authored a book, How to Write 30 Books in 30 Days. I'm an engineer by trade, and so everything is a system to me, much like this stuff. And so I developed a system for writing books. I'm able to write a 250-page book in 8 hours. I use voice to text, and I can organize my thoughts basically and just start spitting out books, voice to text, edit it, cover design, have it start at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 5 p.m., have a complete book ready to go, published and upload. And I'm still, 8 years later, getting paid for those books that I wrote in the Philippines. So think about what you spend your time on. You know, Amazon, or not Amazon, but Netflix might cost you $19 a month, but let me tell you something. That time you spend in front of Amazon costs you a lot more than that. Or not Amazon, sorry, Netflix. That time you spend sitting in front of Netflix costs you a lot more than $19 a month. So here's Telcoin. We haven't talked about Telcoin. That's one that's brought to you by Red Bear. He's one of our researchers. He's our lead researcher. He's brought this out, and he did. This is all him. I mean, he said, "Hey guys, there's something," and up we went. But again, what do we've got here? We've got a three-wave. We basically got a modified three-wave. There's wave 1, wave 2, and kind of wave 3. And so we're still in, and we're in that. And so we are likely going to do our favorite formation out of this. We're going to come down out of that, and then we'll start to rise. And we're likely going to do a rise to right about there. So the same thing I just told you about Populous is going to hold steady for Telcoin as well. So the low floor on this is probably going to be, well, let me just do this because there's a lot of zeros here. So you're probably looking at around about, conservatively, I'm going to say probably about there. You'll have to even those numbers up yourself here. Let's do that. Yeah, probably right about there. Now, could it go lower? Yes, it could go lower, but it doesn't look like much, but that is a pretty aggressive drop from there to there. That's an 83% drop. So I would probably be watching more for this AI line here. Let's just say, let's make that 700. There we go. So I would probably be looking for about there, and that plays pretty well because that's the last touch off. But you know, between we're at here and half. That's the end of our floor support there. So yeah, we will. Long story short is we are going lower on this. So and if you want to know about Telcoin again, we do have an entire video Red Bear did on Telcoin. Just go back and look through our history here on YouTube. By the way, it's time for a little commercial break here. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, you want to subscribe to these charts. I'm like, man, I want these charts are so accurate and blah blah blah. And this guy knows what he's talking about. Look at all these hits that we keep having. How do I subscribe to the charts? Well, very simple. You just do that by joining us at FibbyCharts.com. Simply go to right here where it says subscribe, FibbyCharts.com. Go to subscribe and subscribe to VIP. Gold or platinum would be the subscriptions I would recommend to you. So that way you can get in on all the chat and all the stuff that I do on a daily basis and stuff like that. And of course, obviously, we'd love to have you join us for free at the unfairadvantage.chat. And if you'd like the description for that, or you'd like the link for that, you can get it in the description to the video, today's video. And all of my videos have that in there. So at the very least, you owe it to yourself to come check us out because not a lot of good information out there these days in crypto. There's a lot of people telling you $100,000 Bitcoin, but I'm certainly not one of them. So, go with the people that have a track record. That's what I say. All right. So Solana was an interesting one because Solana just really held its ground. So I told you that when we were going up here, I said, yeah, we're going to come down. We're going to come down into this circle. Ping, there we are again. There's another hit. This is what I'm talking about. So if you want to subscribe to somebody who really knows what they're talking about, you're witnessing this stuff live. You can go back and see the history of when these things were put in. This is not manipulated. It literally is this accurate. This grid system is quite unlike some. I'm quite proud of it. We're now celebrating a 1-year anniversary of this. As of this this month is we've been active and live with the ISIS system for 1 year now, as of this month, and so it's getting smarter and more accurate. It's just a giant vacuum sucking up statistical data on all the coins we track, and as we get more data, the thing gets better and better and better. And so it's like I've said many times, it's like having the unfair advantage. And if you have these kind of odds that we've got, and we do get upwards in our accuracy, upwards of 97 to 98% accuracy, which is odds that will get you absolutely thrown out of Las Vegas. And so if you want something that basically, rather than just taking a shot at maybe it'll go up, maybe it'll go down, you got to have a reason for those investments that you do. So we'll give you the tools to be able to make those intelligent decisions. So please join us. We'd love to have you be a part of that. All right, so as far as where we see this go, I think this pretty much writes itself. So once we get into the circle here, and we are in the circle, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. Our next floor support is going to be like right about here. So actually I could probably bring that up a little bit. Probably to the top of that box would be the most likely. And in fact, I do see some TA reason for saying that. So if I do that right there and that right there, so that's about where I think we're probably going to get. So you're looking at probably around about 80. We'll just make it an even 80. 80 Solana, that's as good as it's going to get, guys. I'm pretty sure that unless we get into a much more wicked crash, 80 Solana is about as good as it's going to get, and that's going to be a 28% drop. Unless we're going to get into a more vicious downturn. I think we got one good spooky downturn left, and I think that's going to be it. So I don't think Solana is a strong fighter, so I don't think she'll go down lower than 30%. So we might wick into this box a little bit, but I think broadly speaking, that AI line right there is pretty much going to hold the fort. All right, so we'll do Crow here. So now I was rather amazed at this, but I did call it. My hunches and my intuition don't always match my opinions, and so I tell you both sides of the coin. So when we were in Vegas for my part 2.0 of my birthday party and meetup that we had in Vegas, first part of November, Crypto.com was just on a tear, man. They were advertising everywhere, just everywhere. And they were on their billboards outside of casinos and stuff. I mean, they were just dumping a wad on stuff. And they've renamed a stadium and stuff. So Crypto.com is going to bring all the noobs into crypto, simply because of its name and its advertising and stuff like that. Now, I'm not a football fan, and by this I mean North American football. I'm not a football fan by any stretch of the imagination. However, I do anticipate that they're probably going to roll out 1 or 2 ads for Crypto.com to try and capitalize on these retarded Super Bowl ads that they're always paying $2, $3, $4, $5 million on or whatever. It's almost like a source of pride to these guys to see how stupid they can be with their advertising budgets. But that being understood, I expect that Crypto.com will be part of that stupidity, and that's going to be another launch into the mainstream for people to get exposed to crypto for the first time. And so I've been expecting a run up in anticipation for that. We have not gotten it. That was what I verbally said. As I said, I'm expecting a run up with that, but we just haven't seen it. So when is the Super Bowl? Does anybody know? Because I don't give a crap. It's around about the 29th or something like that. So I think we might still see a bit of an upturn, but I think we're still going to see a down before we see it. Before we see up, we're going to see down. But all of this that we saw right here was because of that ad. When I was in Vegas, or when we were in Vegas at the meetup, all of this was due to the fact that they were doing that just obnoxious advertising campaign. That's what made this run up is name brand recognition and everybody all excited. So I kind of expected a 2.0 version of that right about here, and it's been following the channel down. So this is the call I'm making is a channel. It's following the channel just fine. So I said that basically we got to watch this triangle. If we break out above, then we're obviously going to go ahead and do our run for the Super Bowl. We're not doing it. I said we break down below. That's exactly what's happened. We've broken down. In fact, we've even tagged the 200 EMA, which is what this baby blue line is. And so, all things being equal, I expect to go lower. How much lower? Well, I would expect probably, we're going to be conservative on this. I would say probably right in that range right there. Now, what we might catch is 2-3 days out from the Super Bowl, we might possibly see something at that point. I'll just go ahead and give you some theories. We have a lot of support and resistance right there. So what I would tell you is that I would expect possibly down here, working hard to get through this. When we catch a bump from Super Bowl, we would probably go to about there, maybe, and that's a very strong maybe. That's all things being positive. And if and that were to happen, you're looking at a potential 138% return. Now, would I put my money on a gamble like that? Hell no. Hell no. Far too many speculations. I would rather put my money into T-Fuel because I know T-Fuel will turn around on me. I don't know this is going to turn around yet. It will, but again, you got to play percentages. I mean, if I could buy what do we say a 10 cent? Or no, it wasn't even 10 cent. 6 cent T-Fuel. Oh, I could buy, God guarantee you I'm going to get a 12-cent T-Fuel, a 24-cent T-Fuel. I'll 4, 5, 6, 10, 12x my money with T-Fuel. Not with this. Not with this. So you always got to remember, as attractive as Crow is, and I think that it is, what other pony are you running against? And T-Fuel will outpace this. I promise you T-Fuel will do better than this in a shorter period of time. Because let's just think about it. If you're at 35 cents, let's just say 35 cents. If you're at 35 cents, what's the likelihood you're going to go from 35 to 70? I just showed you where I thought the ceiling was here, right? 70 cents is clear up here. So that's just to get a 100% return on your money. T-Fuel only has to go from 6 cents to 12 cents. And it's already had a history of going way higher than that. So Crypto.com is going to do just fine, thank you very much. But again, the name of the game is to get into coins that are going to give us the fastest turnover and fastest growth potential. And so I have nothing bad to say about Crypto.com. I'm just simply telling you that I can point at a pony that's going to do far better. Now, is Crypto.com better than Doge? Better than is my volume down again? Hold on just a second. Apologize about that, guys. I don't know what the hell does this, but there we go. Anytime I touch my keyboard, it readjusts my volume, I think, or something like that. So sorry about that. All right. So anyway, if I'll repeat myself here. So I have nothing bad to say about Crypto.com. I'm just simply making the point that you're competing in a large arena against many other ponies, and that is not the fastest pony in the stable. So not to say T-Fuel is, but if you're comparing apples and oranges, Crypto.com's not the smartest one. So. All right, time to badmouth another coin. So, hold on just a second. All right, so everybody that's on the woo-woo train has asked me about this damn coin. And you'll notice I do not spend an awful lot of time on this coin because I have never, ever been a believer in this coin. And you can see why. My gut feeling spoke to me way back here and said, nope, no sir, don't like it. And I've been right. The promise, if you're in this, you know why you're in this. You know who put you in this coin. I'm not going to point fingers or whatever, but let's just say the track record hasn't been that good. It hasn't been that good. So that was strike one for me. Did you bite anybody? Okay, so XRP, anybody? Doge, Shiba, a lot of swings and misses, and so this thing just didn't impress me from the drop. Now, in the drop, literally 3-wave, and it's dropping. See, this is a more played out version of what a 3-wave does. 1, 2, 3, and it is dropping literally right now. And so, but nothing. I mean, the thing is if you're holding on to this coin, so we haven't mentioned one of my favorite things is time value of money. Digibyte, I'm looking at you. If you're holding this thing for that psychic promise or that woo-woo promise or whatever, ditch it, brothers and sisters. It's not going to happen fast enough to outpace something that's making real money. I don't even have to talk about Rome. If you took the money and went from XRPT and went into T-Fuel, T-Fuel will do better faster than this thing will, with a higher degree of certainty. So, I'm not a fan of this thing. I listed it because you guys wanted me to, but you'll notice I don't follow it, and for good reason, because it's a turd. It literally is. It literally is. And it's expensive. It really is. I mean, because this thing was upwards of, damn. I mean, I feel for you guys that jumped in on this at $17. You guys that FOMO'd in on this because you got told that this thing was going to go, just great white hope, and I'm using that word maliciously. It's not going to do it, guys. It's not going to do it. By the time this falls into no better category than Shiba does. Shiba's at least got a fan base. This thing kind of does, but it has no fundamental. I mean, yes, you can stake it. I've heard stories of what you can do with it, but it's an also ran as far as I'm concerned. Broadly speaking, it's got nothing going for it. It just doesn't. Now, I'm sorry I still don't have charts on this goddamn thing. I'm watching for it. We all know how we're getting hosed by Coinbase on this thing, so that's a sore subject. I'm leaving it there for right now, though. So one of the things, as long as we'll just moving along, we're going to start talking about Avalanche a lot more. So Avalanche is a network that's really, really come into its own. It deals in NFTs and stuff like that. And again, there you go. There was the call. We're pinging right off the top of the box. So, are you guys that are new to live stream? Are you seeing enough of this? Are you impressed yet? You guys that are new, if how many times have I shown you exact hits in this live stream alone? This is the way we roll, guys. We would love to have you join our crew, join our group, be a part of this, because I'm here to help you guys make money. It has been a very dull, very boring quarter, but it's about to get very exciting. The buys are starting to line up now. Now it's time to get out the wallet, start spending some money. So I would really love to have you guys be a part of this and be subscribed to the charts and stuff like that. New year, new possibilities and stuff like that. Back in the day before everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket and started to get, markets started to get manipulated, it really is not that hard for me to step to the plate and get you guys daily, sometimes 6 or 7 times a day, anywhere from 20 to 40% returns on your money in a day. It's just how the markets are playing. We are about ready to get back into that again here, probably in the next 60 days. When the market does start going, I'll be calling these things all the way up, just like I was. So the guys that have been with me for a very long time will attest that when the markets are moving upwards, or even when they're moving downward, but when they're moving upwards and stuff like that, it's nothing for me to get you guys anything from 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% returns in a day. When they're out there, I'm predicting them, calling them. It's on you to pull the money and pull the trigger, but I'm showing you the path. So now you're catching me at a good time. You're catching the show at a good time. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. Help us spread the religion of the magic chicken bones. That's what we call this system. It's just been an inside joke for a long time. Magic chicken bones. But seriously though, help us tell the people, because I don't use much of an advertising budget. We should have far more subscribers listening to some credible information than the sub 6,000 group of people that we've got. And it's mostly because I don't broadcast on a daily basis, because, I'll be honest with you. If there's nothing to say, I ain't going to say it. I'm not here to fill your time up with worthless information and jibber jabber. If I've got something to say, I'll say it, and so that hurts my algorithm with YouTube immensely. But so be it. I'd rather be quality than quantity, and so. But that being said, I am on live streams and I am doing stuff on a daily basis within the VIP groups over on VeChain or over on the unfairadvantage.chat. So nonetheless, but anyway, as far as Avalanche goes. We got more to the bottom than this. I don't think this story is over. As I'm looking at this, I'm seeing something very familiar. One of them dudes right there. So we're coming out of that same formation. So let me show you how this works. If you guys don't understand an M formation, basically an M formation works like so many others, and so what you should see is about that. You should see pretty much the smack off the bottom of that box. We're heading there. We'll get there. And again, we can see that justified by seeing the support and resistance is there, right there. So we can easily expect 50, we'll call it 57 and some change. Let's just make it 57 and a half. We can expect 57 and a quarter, 57 and a half Avalanche. Probably not a bad buy. Probably not a bad buy. I mean, I'm not a fan of spending 50, 60, 100, 200, $300 on a coin. You should have bought it way back here. Excuse me. You should have bought it way back here when it was on sale, when I was telling you about it at $12. But we just had its day and we're off to the races. However, that being said, this is going to be anywhere from $750 to $1,200 coin. Why do I say that? Because I've got another program that I use called Anubis, and the guys that are subscribed to the live stream know what I'm talking about. Anubis is our long-term statistical price forecasting bot. That basically what it does is it just vacuums up statistical data, market cross references, and 7 herbs and spices, and all kinds of stuff like that. And it comes out with some very, very accurate long-term pricing and medium-term pricing as well. So we're looking at those future forecasts anywhere from probably 36 to 48 months out. So Avalanche will be a good, solid performer. Now, is it blue chip? No, it's not blue chip. So that's always the thing. Is like there's just too many good coins to buy. You have to pare it down. So as long as I'm on this thread, a lot of you are following my lead on this with Rome. Right now, we're looking at things like Avalanche. We're looking at things like T-Fuel. T-Fuel is a flip coin. Always has been, always will be. We're looking at Theta and stuff like that. But really where my portfolio is pointed at is ISO coins, because they're telling us what the play is, guys. Just all you got to do is listen to the news that's being bandied around about, is ISO coins are the only thing that's going to be worth anything. Of course they are. I've been saying this forever and ever. Never ever bid against the bankers. ISO coins are banker coins. They're big boy coins. Why wouldn't you want to own the ISO coins? That's XRP, XLM, Quant, Algorand. Do your homework, XDC, and those are the coins you're going to want to own. They will not fail. They will not fail. So the question is how cheap can you get them? That's the only problem you got to worry about, is how cheap you can get these coins. And so all this other stuff is just, I got a little Avalanche. Why? Why would you spend $65 on Avalanche when you can potentially buy XLM for maybe about 11 cents? Why would you do that? Because Avalanche is not going to do exponential growth the way that XLM is. So some of these coins we talk about, it's nice to talk about them, but I do want to keep your head screwed on straight and keep your perspective dialed in correctly. So, he says this and then he unsays it. I'm simply showing you, and then I'm making sure that you're understanding the broader picture. ISO coins are the future. They're the safe future. Bought correctly, they're a tremendously profitable future. So as long as I'm on this thread, let me kind of expand upon this very, very broadly. This comes down from my 21 group. There's going to come a point, and I've mentioned this in past broadcasts, there's going to come a point where look at your clock radio or your toaster oven or your microwave. Really, let's look at your television, for example. You own a television for so long, and then it's outdated, and you go get a new television. Well, cryptos are their technology, and that's exactly what's going to happen with crypto. There's going to be a 2.0 version. For example, Bitcoin is to Litecoin what Litecoin is to Doge. If you don't understand what that is Doge is a copy of Litecoin. Litecoin is a clone of it has its roots in Bitcoin. So, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One thing builds on another, builds on another, builds on another. So, do not be in love with any of these coins, including the ISO coins, because there's going to be a point at which you're going to have to swing to that next vine. So here's the thing. Without getting into the real woo-woo stuff, and boy, I could definitely dive deep on this subject. Without getting into this, I'll just superficially say this. We have a window to make an obscene amount of money, and then it's time to take our chips and get the hell out of the casino. Where do you go with it next? I don't care. Just don't have it in crypto. Because, you have to understand this is a rich man's shell game. And not many people will probably play it straight and tell you this the way that I will, but I'm sitting in a position in my life with people at the table that I know that are credible enough to tell you this because they know, and I personally know as well. So what I'm trying to tell you here, without being too cryptic about it, is this: you know, you buy something, and then everybody goes herding into it, and then they change the game, and now you gotta get this, now you gotta get this, now you gotta move over here, now you gotta, and they always keep you moving and guessing and stuff like that. So there's a window at which you want to get into these coins, and then you want to get out. And I'll speak specifically to XRP. XRP, I have a 5-year window. I am in the top 1% of 1% holders of XRP in the world. I've said this repetitively. I've been buying since fractions of a penny. I've got millions of them. And so I'm holding on to things, but I'm not under any delusions that I'm going to be 90 years old sitting on my gigantic pile of XRP and passing it on to my great grandkids. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. So, and there's going to be so many things that are going to come down upon me as a private holder of XRP. They're going to try and get me to keep it over with Chuck Schwab, or they're not going to let you just sit on this stuff. They're always like, it's going to be hard to be a crypto holder for longer. So what do you do? Well, you put it into metals, you put it into something else, property. We'll talk about that later on. But I want you to realize that if any of you are under the delusion that this is the final bus stop in your road to lifelong security, let me just pop that balloon for you right now. It's not. It's not. So you must always keep your education at a prime. You must always be looking over the horizon for the next thing coming at you, because trust me, and you're hearing 3.5 decades of experience. I'm telling you right now, nothing ever stays static. Things are always changing. You can never get comfortable with your portfolio, because the minute you get comfortable with your portfolio, you're screwed. You're screwed, because things are always changing. Ask anybody who's well, just look at the real estate market. I mean, I've been through I don't know how many cycles of real estate market. If you come in at the top, you come in at the bottom, whatever. Now the whole real estate game has changed completely. So, failing to come up with a good idea here of explaining another version of this, but let's look at somebody who, well, let me take it a different way. Let's say you build a business and you just have the most brilliant business in the world, and this is kind of tantamount to what I'm talking about here. You build this business around advertising on Craigslist. Do any of you use Craigslist anymore? So this is what I'm talking about. Let's say, here's a better one. Let's say you built this gigantic multi-million-dollar business, and I know because I did, advertising on or selling on eBay. You're leaning on somebody else's technology, and then they change the technology or they change the rules or something like that. Ask an eBay seller how long he's been selling on eBay. You're not going to find a lot of people that say 10 years. You're going to find people who are just now doing it, if anyone's doing it at all anymore, because eBay's changed the rules and stuff like that. They don't want you little guys. They want these big, what they call corner store sellers. They want these big, they view themselves as a mall. They want giant anchor stores is what they want. They want to chase all you little guys out because you're just a nuisance to them. And so that's kind of the way it is with crypto. Is they want everybody in until they build it up, and then they want to get all you little guys out because you're a pain in the ass. And so they're going to make it very hard for you to be holders of it or whatever. So we've got a small window of opportunity where we can strike while the iron is hot and really forge something for our future. But then we need to know when it's time to, party's over and take that last drink and get the hell out before they lock us out or lock the doors on us. And I'm telling you that that's probably within about a 5 to 8 year window. And there's certainly going to be a lot of things that are going to happen inside of 5 to 8 years. It's going to make it seem like it might be faster. I, for one, am planning on being completely out of crypto, probably in 5 to 6 years. Mostly into metals or whatever comes down the pike. Won't be any of it in fiat, because I think we all know why I wouldn't be in fiat, because it won't exist at that point in time. But I'm going to be in a diversity of other things that are tradable to the average common man. There'll have to be a certain amount of that in metals, but I don't look at metals as being something that, I'll trade you this bar of gold for this loaf of bread kind of thing. You have to have metals, but we've talked about this on the show before about why that's not practical on a day-to-day basis. But there's other things, and we'll get into that later on. But the point I want to kind of sum up here is with this is you want to pick these. This is why I'm so adamant about picking the fast-growing coins, because you got a window, man. This isn't going to hang around until you get this figured out. You've got a short period of time to make huge amounts of money, and then the window closes, and that's it. You're done. And so, we're still in the Wild West. I think we can all acknowledge that. But, crypto regulations are coming. I think we've all heard that. So, you better make your money before it does, because the government's here to help you. So you definitely want to listen to what I'm talking about. So, all right, so that's enough preaching about that for right now. So, anyway, Avalanche, it's great, whatever, but probably not on my buy list or whatever, but just simply showing you where we're at with that. All right, Quant is on my buy list. So Quant, Quant, told you guys back when we were here, you might want to pay attention to Quant, and this thing kind of went just ballistic. It went up 325+%. What made this happen? I don't know, but I get these, my experience with my woo-woo groups and my Gestalt training and my remote viewing training and just my natural ability to just be able to pick this stuff. I just felt it. So lo and behold. But I also told you that I figured that anything goes up like this comes back down. And sure enough, she did. So here we are again, touching off the top of a box that I told you we were going to hit. Now, where are we going? We're going through the box, potentially down even lower. Now, let me clarify on what I'm talking about here. So, from here to the bottom of the box is 25%. Easily doable. I totally believe it'll happen. In fact, I even got a little marker box right here. So, I do firmly believe that we'll hit the bottom of that box. So, 81 bucks. Now, will we go lower than that? I would tell you that I feel pretty good about 60 bucks. 60 bucks being right about, we'll call it right about there. And that's because we've got support and resistance right there. So let's just go ahead and take that. So this is probably likely the smart buy. But if you're a degenerate gambler and you want to try and catch this thing at the complete bottom, which I don't advise you do with ISO coins, because you don't really want to try to be a cheap ass when it comes to buying ISO coins. Get them at a smart price, call it good, and just hang on for the ride. Because the upside's much better than worrying about a couple pennies on the bottom. But if from where we're at here all the way down the bottom, that's a 70% plunge. Too aggressive. I don't think that it'll probably happen. This is where it theoretically should go, but I'm going to override that and tell you I don't think I would be probably holding out for that. I would probably be looking somewhere more in the 60, let's just call it a flat $60 range. Right in the $60 range. That's an attractive price for Quant. Quant has so much to the upside. Well, let's just look at what it has done and just judge it on that alone. So if we come in at $60, which is right there, and we just go to all-time high, can you be happy with a 600% return? Because that's what it is. We have a historical support. We have a historical ceiling of 604.28% from a $60 buy. Not too shabby. Now, this bears repeating also. I told you guys, a few of you, over a few live streams, what we're about to come into, when all this nonsense comes to an end, is we're looking at 8 to 15x returns across the board, all coins. Sorry if you hear in the background noise, my space heater's running. It's cold in the house here. So if you're hearing a noise, it's my space heater. 8x to 15x. So this 6x is nothing. So this is being conservative, just going with the hand that we're dealt and what we see. But, you know, the next, let's take it up to the next dual AI line, and I'll show you. If you go from 60 bucks, which we have to go clear down here, if we go from 60 bucks from here up to there, that's 1,000%. That's a 10x. And ISIS is already marking out targets up here, so yeah, matter of time. It's only a matter of time. 1,000% return on your money. 10x, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it'll get there. It'll get there. And that's just the start, because this is going to be part of the new financial system. This is a very important part of the financial system. As is Algorand. Algorand is another one that just boom, 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 boom. So we hit that first stop point, went right through it. We're almost 89 cents. Look at that. Sub $1. Sub $1. Just like I told you guys this was going to happen. So now, should you buy it at this? You know, honestly, Algorand is one of these that I believe everything's going to go lower, but I don't know that I can control myself. I think I probably would just say, fuck it, just get it. I really would. Because at 88 cents is where the target bottom is. You know, the best, I think the most I could probably contain myself before I just had to buy this would probably be right at about 80 cents. Right about there. Anything lower than that, I mean, if you really get to looking at it, you know, we've got support and resistance right there. That's about as good as I think it's going to get, you know, in the short term. So from where we're at here to there, that represents a 22%, very easily doable. But if you clear all the crap out of here and you look at this, I mean, what other support and resistance have we got? We don't. We got choppy little micro supports and resistances, but it doesn't get real till we get all the way down here. And I'm telling you right now, I do not in any way, shape, or form expect a 70% drop for Algorand. I don't. No. So realistically, I would expect probably 66 cents to 80 cents, right in that range. I'll just go ahead and give you this here. From that AI line right there to that green line right there, probably that's about as good as she's going to get. Anywhere inside of that box, you got my full permission to pull the trigger and throw it all in. Actually, I'm going to mark that for you. It's a bullseye box. Okay, there we go. Oh, I promise you, I did go to school. There we go. All right, so this comes up occasionally in conversations on VIP. What about Hashgraph? Should we buy Hashgraph? No. Because it's not going to be that fast pony that you're wanting. Secure pony, sure. I mean, it'll get you to town, just not as fast as the other ones will. This is a Google-supported project, so you got that. I mean, if you're looking for stability, if you're looking for safety, then you know this is definitely a coin for that. But I don't get into investments because I want to be safe. I get into investments because I want to make money. I want to make more money, and this one just it's gonna be a while. You know, it could be another year and a half before this thing really starts to take off. So, you know, make your real money and then grab this thing. You might have to pay a little bit more for it on the way up, but you know, better than to have your time value and money just sitting there just laughing at you, you know, for a year and a half. Digibyte, I'm talking to you. You know, so let's look at Digibyte just for the hell of it. I haven't looked at Digibyte for a long time. So much so that I can't remember where it's at. There it is. So not going to surprise me. Yeah, that's about what I expected. So my red line wandered a bit, but we tagged the red line there. So we are at 50% of predicted drop. So she's going to go much lower, 0.0373. Or sorry, zero. Let me go ahead and get a. No, 0.35 and some change, give or take. Let's just round that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so, this is another one of those coins like persistence. Oh man, any day now. Bull crap. Yeah, I of all people, I was in this with you guys, and I get to looking at that. I'm like, any day now. What iced it for me was 2 Octobers ago. Some of you guys don't realize how long this thing's been bullshitting. Not last October. I'm talking about the October before that. 2 Octobers ago. A year and some change. The head guy came out. There was supposed to be a big announcement 2 Octobers ago, going into November, where there's going to be something. Whoa, and then they backed away and said, oh, well, we would rather underperform, or we would rather, we would rather underpromise and overperform. Well, they ain't done neither, as far as I'm concerned. Meanwhile, this thing had a big run up. Everything had a big run up. This does not mean anything. But again, what does it become? It becomes a triple wave. Not even a good one at that. And so, is it going to go lower? That's what happens after a triple wave. It goes down, and it's going to go down. So, Digibyte, I'm done. And any of you guys holding, I'll give you the same imperative speech that I gave the Shiba owners. Any of you guys that are holding this damn thing, for the love of God, get rid of it, because it just is not going to happen. How long have you guys held on to this stuff? Oh, I got a pretty good amount. Any day now should have happened a year ago, easily. Because you must understand, you've heard me use this reference, time value of money. You have to put a certain amount of money on the table, make more money with it in a certain period of time. If you don't, then you're basically lost opportunity cost is what it is. It's costing you money to not make money. You shouldn't have idle investments that are doing nothing. And this is the granddaddy of idle investments. And so, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, unless it goes markedly up, again, lottery ticket mentality, unless it goes markedly up, you have already lost the game holding on to this thing for a year and a half. Some of you guys are like 3 years holding this thing. It's time to admit it. It's like y'all need a meeting. You know what I'm saying? It's time to just say, hi, I'm a Digibyte owner, and admit it to the crowd. It's time to shuffle this thing off and put it into something that'll make you some money, I did want to mention this. Maybe some of you guys know. It's back again. Okay. For whatever reason, TradingView delisted or stopped showing IOTX and IOTA. Yeah, see, it was doing this. See, IOTX, did something happen with TradingView charts I'm not aware of? Because for whatever reason, IOTX and IOTA weren't showing up earlier today. IOTA is showing up now. I don't know what was going on with that. I was kind of hoping somebody knew what was going on there. So Gala, I did want to mention Gala because if you remember going back a couple of live streams ago, prior to the Consumer Electronics Show, I predicted we were going to get something like this, because anything having to do with the metaverse was going to go gaga, and sure enough. So this was the first time when Zuckerberg started talking about the metaverse, and what this was a Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, and all the big ooh-ah, whatever. And so that's what led to this. And so now that that's over, all the fun and games is done, and it's starting to drop down again. So Sand, much the same thing. I expected to have a big run up on that, and just didn't do it. So evidently, people were not as impressed with the metaverse at the Consumer Electronics Show as I thought they might be, because it should have been reflected in the price of sand. Sand being, a big metaverse token. So sometimes you just, what you think, you don't know. So let's see if I can find some other stuff here I wanted to cover. So Loop Ring is one I probably should be talking about, and we'll call it a day here. Again, another one that's working its way back down. So I think we're going to slam down here probably to 43 cents, give or take. We're definitely headed that direction. This is a layer 1, layer 2 solution, and not a blue chip, but definitely to the blue shade. This is one you want to own. Mid hold coin. Make some good money with it and move on. Let this thing get down here to about sub 50 cents and buy it. Don't look at it as a fast a turn as T-Fuel, for example, but put it in a hey, I could own this and make some good money in a fairly short period of time category. So let's see, anything else? ETN probably need to talk about this thing. Not even on the damn chart. Okay, there we go. So here's the predictions. There's the hit. It leveled off there. Leveled off there. So ping, ping. Electronium. That red is very, very, very likely to come down that low. I don't know that I necessarily. Again, let's look at this and what it is. I think you can already see what I'm about to tell you. Wave 1. See, now this is a beautiful example of what I stated earlier. Wave 1 runs you up this far. Wave 2 takes you up 50%. Wave 3 will take you up right to that line, right there, and no further. So this is a good example of what I was talking about. I always like to find those teachable moments. So there's some money to be made there. So let me show you what you could do. Not an easy exchange to get on and off. Let's say we get down to the top of the red box and we go up to around here. There's 165% waiting to be scooped up in a matter of probably 30 days. Once this thing goes down and starts to find its way up, let me clarify what I'm saying here. I'm not saying once it hits the red, it'll turn and in 30 days from that day. I'm saying that you buy it at the red. Once it starts to turn up, within that span of time, 30 days, which could be more like 60 total, you should be easily get a 165% return on your money, because I think that this thing it'll play out like a 3-wave does. So many of these have done that exact same thing. All right, guys, so we're kissing about the midnight hour here. Thank you very much for joining us. Sorry haven't been around very much. Love to have you guys join us. So again, I'm lightly referencing Rome DAO. If you'd like to know a little bit more about that, join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Again, my name is Red Baron. Until next time, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.